Two, one. What's going on, everybody? Here to my favorite
Hello.
break. I'm just gonna turn this up just a hair. Mute your mic for a second and just listen to see if that sounds good. And once it is, just turn the phone back down. It's the only way we can check because we're solo. Yeah. So thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully, this is a quick escape for you guys away from the politics. So take a break and talk pop culture with us and get nerdy while I take off my jacket and get all sexified.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to talk about everything that we're into right now, what we're playing, what we're watching, some experiences, probably some horse shit in the middle. Sounds good? And then we're going to end the show with our main topic that we were supposed to do last week, but we weren't able to get to it. The movie Insidious. And then we are going to talk about our next topic, which is going to be next week's show, which is going to be Harry Potter Part 2.
Yep, the second one.
That's to be determined, though, because I think so. Real quick, we
Yes.
did announce before on the show that we are making some changes. So the changes are going to involve the show. So we are currently every Tuesday night at 9:00, 9:30 now, because we help out with Nikolai because he gets off work a little later. That is changing. We're going to be on Thursdays at 9:00, but the show will not be every Thursday at 9. So the way we're going to do it now is the network is going to split Thursdays in between 3 shows. It's going to be Not Cool in High School, Truth Behind Illusion, and Tornado Tag Podcast. Now, with that, the reason we're doing that is because for 2 reasons. Hopefully, now that COVID is hopefully dying down, after today, it's over, right? That's how it works.
Hopefully, that's what I've been hoping.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
This whole year.
Hopefully, I either go back to work or I can find somewhere where I can go back to work. And work schedules may change, and we may have to make adjustments according to that. It's been a good run. We've put a lot of work in, a lot of time, but it is to the point where I think also we're doing a detrimental to our cause. I mean, it is very ambitious that we're putting out as much content as we are, but I know me personally, if I'm watching a show or listening to a podcast and I get an episode or 2 behind, I feel lost and then I don't want to go back. And I'm not saying we see a dip in our numbers, but it can happen. So I think by doing this show maybe once or twice a month, it gives you guys more of a time, if you're a fan of the show, to have more time to listen. It gives us more time to show prep, and it also will then in turn help us get better content out. So we are going to do that. Now, after this week, we're going to start that process. So after this week is normal is done, next Thursday, we will start it off with Not Cool in High School, and then it'll be Tornado Tag, and then the Thanksgiving Day, on Thursday, will be Truth Behind Illusion.
Our Gettysburg stuff.
Yeah, the stuff we're going to shoot at
Exciting stuff.
Gettysburg. So I'm thinking maybe the first week of the month will be Not Cool. Second week of the month will be Tornado Tag, or third. Well, and we'll vary it because say if the fourth week of the month there's a pay-per-view coming up for wrestling, we may flip-flop that. But we're going to have enough time to tell you what show to prepare for that week. You know what I mean? So that's kind of our strategy. This way, if you guys are listening, you have more time to get caught up on past episodes if you want. Now, the cool thing with our show is we're not episodic. If you miss an episode, unless you're a really big fan, you want to go back and listen, that's amazing. But you can pick up at any point in time and just see what the topic is and listen to us talk, you know? So I don't want to feel like if you miss an episode or 2, or if you haven't been here the whole time, you're still welcome and come in and enjoy yourself. And even if your first time, hang out and party with us and let's talk. And the chat's always open if you want to come talk to us live on Facebook when we're doing this. If you want to check it out later on YouTube, if you comment, we will respond back. Also, if you want to comment in our community page, so we do have a community page that we kind of have a team with. So you can follow Geek Fluent, which is a great page.
Yes.
Over 1,000 some people. They like talking pop culture. And then also our Not Cool in High School page is doing the same thing as well. We talk pop culture stuff. And we kind of cross in between each other, and we help share each other's stories and stuff. So 2 great pages you can show love to. Also, we do have a merch page. So the logo you see here, the Not Cool in High School logo, the little lady killer.
Lady killer.
It may be short-lived because the way the show is going now, doing the 1 week thing, we're going to be bringing Andy back. So Andy's going to be joining this mix again because now he doesn't have to be here 3 times a week. And it's kind of getting to the point where the entire cast is just following each other from show to show.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
If you guys
So
want to come
cute.
talk pro wrestling, you're more than welcome to. Because even with the pro wrestling show, you don't have to watch the current day stuff to pay attention. We're literally doing the same thing here where, hey, you go watch go research an old story that is wrestling related, but they are still insanely interesting stories. So Thursday, that Thursday is always open for you guys as well. But that with that being said, with Andy coming back and the logo, we are designing a new logo style. We still are going to lean towards the Harry Potter for the first one,
Mhm.
and then maybe every 10 or 20 episodes change it up. Where it's us, but as a different character.
Yep.
There will be hidden stuff in the logos, so we're going to start like a new trend with the shows where there may be a little hidden, like hidden Mickeys.
Oh, cute.
We're going to
yeah.
have a hidden lady.
Mhm.
So sweet.
Yeah, so lady's going to make like a secret appearance in every logo too.
Can't wait.
Yeah, and then what else we got? Oh, and the previous logos. This one's still going to be up for a while, but the Not Cool in High School logo, the one that looks like the Nintendo logo, they're all going away at the end of this month. So if you really want a logo of any of the shows, you don't get them now because they are leaving at the end of the month. So they may come back for a week or two here and there, but for the most part, we're kind of revamping the show, revamping the cast, revamping everything, and kind of bringing people back together. We have plans of getting a in-studio engineer soon or a producer that can help us behind the scenes. We have a lot of cool stuff. I don't want to say any names yet, just in case it falls through or anything. I don't want to give false hope or false promises. But
Why would you? Why did everyone just like look down the table like?
I don't know, Billy.
I was looking at the logo.
Yeah, that's a great.
I
It
don't
looks
know,
like
Billy.
it looks like you on that logo, even though it's me as a
It
child.
does.
Yeah, I found like pictures from when I was a kid, and like the more that I looked at those, I was like, "Wow, that's weird.
We're brothers.
That's super weird.
We're brothers.
I said butters. We're
We
spirit
could
butters.
be butters
Spew
as
it,
well.
bottles. Spew it,
Nothing
bottles.
wrong with butters.
Um,
Butters is great.
Yeah. Am I missing anything?
No, I don't think so. I think that pretty much covers
Yeah,
it.
that covered everything from
Covered
you said
everything.
last night too. So
Yeah. recap.
And the cool thing is, I really like the fact that we're all kind of coming together and doing podcasts together. So like for a long time, we had really not a strong like a female presence for a long time. It was like Sarah came and went, and now shows having the female presence. Andy, Nikolai may be hanging out with us on Truth Behind Illusion. So literally,
Great.
this show is going to also be Truth Behind Illusion as well. Yeah, and then Tornado Tag will be pretty much me, Brian, and Brian and Andy. And then if you guys ever want to come and hang out, doors always open. Bangin' Beers is still staying Friday night, so every Friday night, and then occasionally a Sunday, we're gonna do Bangin' Beers, because that show takes no show prep. You just show up and drink beer. It's a very easy show to do.
Not bad at all.
Sometimes it's not.
why did you look at me when you said that?
Sometimes it's not an easy show.
Beer is nasty, but I gave it my best
Oh,
shot.
shit, am
I don't like
who's
beer either.
vibrating? That's me
Mm-mm.
vibrating.
So gross.
Thank you, Andy Header
Andy
for the
Head.
share.
And a head.
Andy Header, our boy there. He's going to be hanging out with us once again, coming
Oh,
back
and
coming
a
back
hell.
next week. It may be Harry Potter, it may not, because I don't think even I don't want
I
to
don't think
force
he likes
Andy to
it.
watch the first one.
Yeah.
If he commits and watches the first one, we'll do the part 2. But if he's not into it,
Did
maybe
you
we'll just pick something
Did
else.
you do the part 1 already?
We
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Did, yeah.
We watched the
Did
Sorcerer's
I
Stone.
did it like go over my head? I feel like I
Probably.
didn't see it.
Or
I
what
feel
we
like
can
I
do
didn't see
too,
it.
if we have more time to show prep, instead of just taking longer on one movie, we can pick like 2 movies and do like Harry Potter and
yeah.
another, and like, or like and it doesn't always have to be movies either. Like we can do like a person. Like I want to do a Lucille Ball episode, or like anything like that. It could be if you want to do a Star Wars episode. Obviously, there's a lot to cover in Star Wars.
That's what I'll be
so
doing.
You know what I mean?
Just
So
prepare yourself.
there's a lot of cool an
I
X Files
support that.
episode. Yeah, all that
So
fun
great.
stuff. So it won't always be movies. We're gonna find other things to sneak in there and add to the mix. And like I said, if now we have more time to prep, we could be like, hey, everyone go watch this movie on Netflix or this documentary, and then we all come back and talk about it. So we could do more stuff like that as well.
Have
Yeah,
you
that sounds
have you
great.
considered any IWEP game show type ideas?
Game shows. That
Danny Corey asks.
that has been something that has been pitched,
Mhm.
a game show. I would have to figure out how to do it. But yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great
That's
different.
We should do some
interesting.
like
Different and
whose line
fun.
is it anyway type stuff.
Oh,
I would love to
yeah.
do some
I don't
improv.
know. I don't know
type
about
shit.
improv.
I don't know about
Um,
improv. A lot of us
Hmm.
aren't great improvisational people, even though that's
I am.
every conversation that's been had on this podcast. Like, there's a guide, I guess. Not really. It's just like a bunch of different statements that eventually you get to.
Well,
different.
well,
We
here's
can
the
always
thing.
play a really popular board game too.
We could do
We can
that.
do board
Stream.
game episodes. We play a
I'm
board
pretty
game.
sure
I
I
would love
dead ass
that.
brought that up a while ago.
You did.
I was like, hey, it was during the Twitch shit. I was like, yeah, we could just play a board game and stream on Twitch. And you were like, no, I don't think people would vibe with it. It would be fun.
We could try it.
I'm just calling you out right
Yeah.
now.
Well, there may be things we can do on that are fun as well that don't have to technically be an episode. like we can do like a live stream on Facebook or YouTube where it's like us playing a board game, but not label it as an episode. We're like, hey, this Friday night after banging beers, after we're all sauced up, or Saturday night at 10 o'clock, come join the Not Cool team, and we're going to do a Let's Play, and we're all going to play Mario Kart or something like
Oh
that.
yes, I would
That's
love
so
that.
Like stuff like that. So I
I
think
dominate.
not just we'll see about that.
Oh, you will see.
I am the
What?
king of Mario Kart.
No, you really aren't.
Billy.
You
Are you
really
the
aren't.
What?
You haven't met me.
First of all,
I used to
my
keep Mario Kart.
my Switch remote was fucking broken.
Anyway,
Whoa, what's going
Whoa.
on here? Poor Billy being muted. What the?
What the fuck was that?
I destroyed it that whole night. I don't want to hear.
Yeah,
nothing
because
else.
the remote was broken.
All right, listen.
Oh,
Billy
boy.
has the tiniest hands on the planet, and me and Tyler have
me see.
much larger
Let me
hands,
see. Let me
and
see.
we were
Oh.
using half of each Switch
Oh,
controller.
Billy.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're literally me and Tyler Smart are playing a game like this, and Billy. It's like a whole controller for Billy.
Well, I'm just gonna say, if you are a true king or queen of Mario
I didn't
Kart,
lose
that
a race.
does not matter.
I didn't lose a race
You fucking cheated.
because I held a green shell
No,
to the very end, and then he
That's
threw
not
in the last
cheating.
turn.
No,
That's how you
because-
play.
because
That's
he
how you play.
No, because he turned off tilt controls. So meanwhile, I'm driving,
that's not
accidentally
fun.
turning my car to the left. And I'm like, "Why is your car not turning to the left weirdly?" He's like, "I don't know."
I didn't know it was turned off or on.
Okay,
Really?
it wasn't entirely your fault because it was Tyler's Switch.
Yes.
Okay, but I still think it
Blame
was
Tyler
unfair.
Smart.
I blame
Tyler Smart.
Chanting.
What if you captured fun from the moment and made a short segment? That would be cool too. A lot of our things here and I appreciate the engagement, guys. That's
Yeah,
absolutely
that's great.
fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
We
If
love the
you are hanging out,
suggestions.
make sure you hit that share button.
I've
and,
been
Yeah,
trying
you
to
guys are the
share the
best.
stream, but I can't find the button
Oh.
on my thing because
Um,
of the page.
I do pride ourselves with this network where we're not a cut edited show. So like even if we do a let's play or anything like that, like I don't cut
It'll be
out
live.
and just I want it to be completely raw. I know it's a lot to watch, but I hate when there's a really good conversation or a really good thing and it just like people just cut out 15 minutes of the funny stuff and make their video.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Plus I'm too
Cheating.
lazy.
Plus people can hang out with us this way.
Plus I'm too
Yeah.
lazy to edit.
I feel that.
Yeah, who wants to do that? It's not real that way.
It's not
Well,
fair.
Thank you,
Thank you
Danny.
for the share, brother. Yeah, so that's all stuff we can definitely do. So what we're gonna do is pose to the group here, and you guys can participate along while you're watching. Is what have you been playing, watching, reading, anything like that recently? So I'll turn it. We'll do one each because I have a few different things to talk about tonight, and that I kind of because now that I have more time.
Mhm.
I mean, even though it hasn't started, I feel like I have more time. But I got a lot done this week, so we'll start you off, Bree.
The Animal Crossing Halloween event was really fun. I don't know if anybody else did it or first.
I gave up. I the week we talked about it, I played it for a day, and I was like, I can't get back into this.
Easter killed me.
Oh, so
Everything that
sad.
happened at Easter killed me. Egg from all eggs. Everything was an egg.
I did all the pump.
It was.
I did-
Everything
they-
was a
I
fucking
planted
egg.
hundreds of pumpkins and never went back.
my God.
Oh, you
So-
missed out.
So I'm gonna have thousands of pumpkins that are probably gonna be dead.
He's just fucking-
I don't know if they die. They just keep growing or they stay there.
I'm gonna have a shit ton of
Overrun.
pumpkins.
You're gonna have so many pumpkins.
You missed out on the star of Halloween.
I
and
did.
Yeah, he was great.
Next year.
And you give your little animals candy, and if
Aw.
not, they haunt you or they play a trick on you. And the trick is you get a makeover every time, which is really
Oh my
cute. And you get like different face paints that you can't get yourself, like Halloween oriented face
Oh,
paints, which was
nice.
really fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you do your time travel because you were out Halloween day?
No, I didn't because it went on to midnight. So I did
Ah.
have some time after we all hung out to do that.
We
Even
so
though I
we
was dead
we did
tired.
something on Halloween that I never thought was even a thing to do, and I didn't think it would be as cool. But it was a fucking blast.
It
I wish
was
we would.
so much
I wish we would have went a little maybe
Yes.
earlier because I
Yeah.
felt like by the
Yeah.
time we got there,
I also don't.
We were there for
know-
the joust. Some of us got hammered.
I also don't know how.
and then we went home.
how much of it was closed all day.
it,
You know,
I
you
don't know. But here's
how
what I
much-
feel happened. I feel like we just stood and talked to each other instead of walking around experiencing things. And then we're like, "Fuck, the joust starts!" And then we like
Yeah.
we got there, we started drinking and eating.
Uh-huh.
Like we ate at one stand and got one stand of booze, got smoked, and then we're just like, "Oh, there's a joust here." So then we went to a joust.
Oh
and then it
yeah,
was time
6
to leave.
o'clock joust.
Yeah.
And I
Oh
had
my
lots of
God.
apple cider. 'Cause
Yes.
That's what I.
So we went to the Ren Fair on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You were a witch.
Sick.
I was.
You were a pirate
I
lady.
guess. I don't know what I was.
Andy was a pirate. He looked fantastic.
Andy
He
looked
did,
awesome.
yeah. He did
Billy
look
was a
cool.
video game streamer.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, no.
Billy
it's
looked
totally-
like Billy looked like one of the hackers from
Yeah,
Watch
Watch Dogs character. That's what
Yeah.
I was going with my pink
Heidi-
backpack.
Heidi was a vampire,
Vampire witchy witch.
a vampire witch lady.
Mm-hmm.
I was Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
without Ghost, and you didn't even know who Ghost was. I
Yeah.
was so mad.
I don't know.
Who
I don't
does
really
not know who Ghost is.
I don't
All
know
right,
much
I'm
about
done.
that
Is he
show.
a bird? Is it a bird?
Ghost?
Is it a bird?
No.
Is it a?
What is wrong with you guys? On a big pop culture show, you don't know who Ghost is.
I only watched season 1
Oh
of Game of
God.
Thrones.
Ghost is a dire wolf, which is a rather large wolf.
Okay.
Are you just like
like a
roasting me,
regular
or
wolf.
No,
Are you just like
no,
roasting me?
no.
I love when Savage Brie comes out, and I
No.
love
She-
it.
You just call
I
me
love
out.
it.
Her
I
shell
just-
has been cracked.
I
She's
just
like-
sit back and go.
I
Yeah.
love it. I
She's
love it.
tired of the shit
anger
that the
just-
show is
Let
brought
the
to.
hate
Let the
flow
hate
through
flow
you,
through
Bree.
you.
Sith Breeze coming out right now. How do you not know who Ghost is?
When
He's
you
like,
hang out with the devil enough, it's gonna breed
that's
on
right.
you.
It's all Tony's fault.
I'm slowly corrupting Bree's
I'll
soul.
block it. I'll block it. Gray Jedi right here.
Grey
But
Jedi.
yeah, he's a cute little white dire wolf. So dire wolves are like gigantic wolves, and each of the Starks in Game of Thrones got their own dire
Oh,
wolf.
okay. So in
'cause
season 1, they were puppies.
they were puppies.
Yeah.
Yes, and they grow into gigantic dogs. I will not tell you the sadness that comes with.
I mean, from what I've heard of Game of Thrones, don't fall in love with anything. Everything
Yeah,
dies.
they say that. No, well, not everything dies, but a good portion, like
Yeah.
a large portion.
I will
Ghost
start.
makes it.
I will
Ghost
start
makes
watching
it.
it.
You better
someone
find out
just
who
said
Ghost is.
search
God.
search Party on HBO Max.
So
Search
good.
Party on HBO Max
So good.
is my 100% guilty pleasure show. If you have or even
Oh.
considered getting HBO Max, give it a watch.
Shouldn't be a guilty pleasure. That show is fucking awesome.
What's it about?
So like, oh shit, this girl goes missing or dies or something like that, and no, I think she's dead.
Such an awesome show. You remember
But-
so much.
Shut up. No, it's because the main character I love. It's the girl from Arrested Development. She was the shit. Hold on, I gotta search it up real quick. But
The daughter,
yeah,
the one
she
that
was-
Michael
the
Bolton's
young
in love- yeah.
Michael, Michael Bluth.
It's Michael Bolton
Michael
though.
Bolton.
I
His
was
name
gonna
is
say Michael Bolton.
his name is actually Michael Bolton. I thought.
the real
No.
Michael
No, it's
Bolton.
Michael Sarah.
Michael Sarah.
No.
Yeah.
In the show, they named him Michael
Oh
Bolton.
yeah, Michael.
Oh,
yeah,
Bolton.
you're
Yeah,
right.
you're right.
You're
You're right.
right.
You're right. You're
His
right.
name is actually Michael Sarah, but in the
Yeah,
show, his
yeah.
name is Michael
Okay, you're
Bolton.
right. Okay, you're
also,
right.
look up Ghost when you look up that, so you
Yeah.
know what Ghost is.
But-
how cute he is.
Yeah, Search Party is a really dope show. It's like about this chick whose friend is dead or something, and then she's like sees her in other places and
Mm.
thinks that she's still alive or something like that. That's what the first season is about. I'm almost certain. I remember it.
Yeah.
But then there's like 3 other seasons out now.
So
that are really
Chappelle
good.
Show and you just told me Reno
Yeah, Reno
911.
911 are on HBO Max right
I
now.
love Reno.
So
oh,
good.
I love it. So great.
I'm so
I miss
happy.
it.
So I will be
Funny.
addicted to Reno 911 now.
Dude,
so
Yes.
great.
it's like 6 or 7 or 8 seasons, and that's
think
all
it's
I've been
actually
watching. 9
It's a
seasons.
lot.
Yeah.
God, it's just so funny.
They added. There was this. It's Nick
mov-
Swartzen's
Hey, what's
best
up, guys?
character.
The,
of
n-
all
the
time.
movie was funny too.
Oh my
It
god.
was
Mhm,
so
I love that
extra.
movie.
I went to the
911
theater. I went to
Miami.
the theater to watch that
It was
movie.
so
I'm jealous.
beautiful.
There's
Because
been 2
Patton
shows.
Oswalt's in that at the
Yeah.
end. He's the
Yes.
fucking bad
Yeah.
dude. He's
Yeah.
like,
There's 2 shows that I went to see the end thing in the theaters, and it was and I never watched the full show of the one that I went to. So I watched Reno, and then went and seen it in theaters. And I never finished Entourage, but I went and seen the Entourage movie, and I loved it.
wow, that's awesome. It sucks that like certain shows have been destroyed by like films, like feature films or
Mhm.
something like that, and then you have shows like Reno where it's like the film only makes you want to watch more of the show,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
end the show after the movie.
Yep.
So
My
annoying.
God.
And then an app comes out called Quibi where it's like 5-minute TV shows,
That's
Which is
and
now
you
dead.
watch, yeah, which is dead. But like, I literally paid for it just to watch the Reno 911 episodes, and I was like, oh, these are so great. Why aren't they full like episodes? I've just remembered now that you were like, we need to cut back on the swearing on this show.
Oh no, we're good.
You're fine, Billy.
All right, Billy. I don't know what's going on with Billy tonight.
I'm broken.
Yeah.
Billy's broken.
So yeah, were you done with the Animal Crossing? Is there anything else?
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say too. I just found out that my Harvest Moon game came out that I've been waiting for. So I'll be
Oh.
purchasing that and playing that. And I will let you know how that goes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know. Is it like Animal Crossing?
It's
are
like
they,
Animal
the
Crossing
similar-
meets Stardew Valley. Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I've seen it. I remember the one that was on GameCube, and I was like, this just like it looks like visually looks like Animal Crossing from the logo. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah. It's cute. Each one has its own story, and you build up your own farm. You get to have your own animals. You can get married. You can have kids.
Oh,
And
nice.
this one's supposed to be the best one out of all of them. I remember when we were talking about it before, we were looking up the graphics and the storyline, and it looked like really good and like really involved compared to all the other Harvest Moons.
Hmm.
So it looks really good. I'm excited for it. I just saw on my calendar because I put it
Jesus
in my
Christ.
calendar that it's coming out. So it's coming out today. So all my Harvest Moon, fellow Harvest Moon fans, it's out today. Go pick it up.
Awesome.
Nice.
Billy, what have you been playing?
I went back to stream a nostalgic stream. I played this game called Tyler Tasmanian.
Where can
Tiger.
where can people find your stream?
Twitch.tv/the Converse Kid.
The Converse
Yeah.
Kid. Go watch Billy. I used to stream on Twitch and then I gave it up and I just started streaming on Facebook Gaming.
Dude,
Mm.
my Twitch streams have been popping off recently. Everyone's
Usually when I
hanging out,
game
dude.
with you, even when I'm not streaming, I'm just in your game.
Yeah.
It usually goes great.
It's amazing. Yeah, we've had so many instances. We've done so many things. We've solved relationship problems.
I'm a gold mine when it comes to streams, except when I do it by myself, I get nothing.
Yeah, just do it.
I had one good stream that I don't think anyone ever watched, where I did random duos on Fortnite and just played with little kids,
Oh my-
and it was so fucking funny. Like these
Aw.
kids were hilarious.
That's so cute.
This kid's like, "Are you a streamer?" I was like, "I am."
Aw.
And he's,
Oh.
yeah, and I was like, "I am streaming." He's like, "Oh, cool, man, I'll follow you." And then I'm like, "All right, let's get this dub, boy. Let's get this
Let's
dub."
get
and,
this
and he's like, get all hyped up. Let's get the dub. Let's get it. Like, yeah.
Aw,
So I gotta
that's
start doing
so
more of that,
cute.
like
Oh,
random
God.
duos and stuff. It was fun.
Aw.
It's
Oh, that's
it's
really
great.
cute.
It's awesome to play Fortnite because with my brother, my younger brother,
Oh,
we
your
play
brother cracks
Fortnite.
me up.
Dude, he is absurd.
He's
at
a maniac.
times. He
He is
literally
absurd.
is. And so I was streaming the one time with him and his friend, and they're just like, "So you're a streamer? Give me your stream name." And I'm like, "I don't think you should watch my content. You know, it's very like not for children. You know, it's just this one-time thing that I'm doing with my bro because he wouldn't stop pestering me about
Yeah.
playing
Aw.
Fortnite."
Andy
But-
Header asked, "Did you get to read the last Ronnie Ninja Turtle comic?"
I didn't.
I haven't either.
I
heard
didn't
it's really
even
good though.
start it. I didn't even start
I have
it.
to get it. Well, here's the thing with the streaming. I'm probably gonna go back to streaming more during the week because the biggest problem is a stream when we were doing this show every single day. I would have
There's
to
no
break
time.
this down and then
Take
bring
it
it up to the
upstairs,
gaming
yeah.
room. And now that I only have to stream towards the end of the week, ooh, sorry, I'm beer burping. I can bring it up and use it like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, and then the Thursday before the show, bring it back down and set it up.
I think the thing too with streaming. Let me give you a little insight here, guys.
Teach me,
Let me
Billy.
mansplain this to all the women in the room. real
Yeah.
Whammon.
He's playing a character. He doesn't actually mean
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm fucking joking. If you couldn't tell, like fucking.
I get
He's
it out.
He's
So-
a good egg.
So I started to stream like single player games more often, and it
I
seems
played
like
I played Hellblade and
Yeah.
people loved it.
people mostly attract to
Hellblade?
like yes,
Yeah.
you're right for once.
Yeah.
No, we played Hellblade, and so like the story games, it just seems like people like just want to come in, watch the story, see you be a dumbass, and enjoy that.
I should have been streaming. with the game
Tori
I'm playing.
watched the one stream that I was doing. I was doing
Yeah.
a really offensive Australian accent.
incredible.
Me and
yeah.
Tori streamed Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
still won't.
God,
You
I
still won't
love
stream
that.
Outlast with me.
No, I won't play Outlast.
I clipped the one where you were like walking away from Nemesis as he like, and then he just showed up around the
You're like,
corner. You're like, what the fuck? And it wasn't even him. It was like a car or something.
Yeah. Yeah, Nemesis fucked me up.
Australians be like, no,
Nar.
no.
So what have you been playing or doing?
Pretty much just what I usually do. I just only watch like The Office
Mhm.
and X-Files. But I have gotten into one of my favorite online comics, Lore Olympus, and it's on an app called Webtoon.
Okay.
Yep, and it's a modern take on Greek mythology.
Interesting.
Oh, that sounds really
yeah,
good.
it's,
I
really
think
great.
I'd
It's like the
that.
love story between Hades and Persephone.
Oh, perfect.
I've been
Yeah.
using this app not religiously, but I've been using it a little bit called Stereo. So what this app is, it's pretty much interviews with everyday people, but on an Omegle level, where you go on, and it randomly connects you to just a random person, and you just have a conversation. But the app, you create an avatar, so you never physically see the person you're talking to. So you have to really base it off their conversation. Like it kind of breaks down a lot of barriers where you would look at somebody, maybe judge them, and then bounce. It's really, really fun. If you want to go over and download it and follow me, I'm IWEP Network, just like here. And I've made some pretty interesting conversations with people and met some cool people on there.
I think I've seen advertisements for
The
it too.
only problem with it is when it first started, it was giving away a $10,000 cash prize for the people who get the most listens and views and attention. But then it added Jeffrey Ross and Adam Carolla, and they got 50,000 views the first day on the app, and now they win $10,000 every single week.
Yeah, that's not
stupid.
cool.
That's not
when you
right.
add celebrities that shouldn't even be a part of it,
Yeah.
unless
That's stupid.
it was a ploy and they created the app, and they
No,
were
they
like,
did
Yeah,
it.
"There we go."
Well, they did it for a couple weeks, and people were legit making money on it, and then
Yeah.
they pretty much changed it to like, if you're a celebrity, you get
It's
on there.
hard to
That's
hard to defer that shit though, because that's like within Twitch is like this is like 18 plus, so kids earmuffs, but like porn stars started playing video games.
Yeah.
Who already have a big following, and then people were getting mad about
Pro
that.
wrestlers,
Pro
yeah.
wrestlers, yeah, like everything. And people were getting mad about that because they already have a following and they're just making more money off of this other thing. And it's like, you can't be mad that
Podcasting.
someone's using a new platform.
Yeah.
You know?
But if the app is incentivizing you to come there and win a prize, it's like
Yeah.
the
It's giving
more
you the incentive that you have an opportunity, but you
yeah,
don't.
and then people were using it for like a month and a half and
Yeah.
making $100 a week or $200 a week or $5,000 a
Mhm.
week.
You should have to verify yourself. You should have to.
They do
like-
have a verification
yeah.
system, but it's flawed. But like I said, a celebrity comes on, then everyone flocks because we live in a society where celebrities are better than everyday people, which this whole network is about just giving other people a shot. It is what it is. So I just finished an audiobook, and I'm on my second audiobook. I finished listening to The Dirt by Motley Crue audiobook. Fantastic. Unbelievable. The stories were crazy. If you thought the Netflix documentary was insane, a Netflix movie was insane, go listen to the audiobook or read the book if you're smarter than I. I have to be consumed like a podcast.
Mhm.
And then I just started collecting on audiobook version all of the Hunter S. Thompson books. So I started listening to Hell's Angels, which was his first
Mhm.
breakthrough book where he infiltrates the Hell's Angels and tells their stories. And then when it published, they tried to kill him.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start. I'm trying to go through the Hunter S. Thompson collection, but that's where I'm starting. We're trying to think also. And then I started playing a brand new game. Watch Dogs Legion just came out. I should have been streaming it, but now that this show is changing up probably next Monday, you'll see me on the Facebook gaming stream. When I stream on the on Facebook though, it's going to be on the IWEP network page. So if you want to go follow the links below, it'll show you the page links and then IWEP network, and then you can go there, and then the IWP network will show you any other shows we do here on the network. The beers ones that we talked about, the wrestling, it's all on there. So if you really want to get connected to all the shows, go follow that page. But that's where the game streams are gonna be. Yeah, so I started playing that. That's really fun. I will say this, story wise, not very engaging. But the fact that if you like Watch Dogs and the fact that you have that free roam sandbox and do
Mhm.
whatever you want and hack people and do puzzles and stuff like that, it's a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying it. I just wish maybe it was a little more engaging when it comes to the story. But every single NPC in the game can be converted to your team. And if they're not on your team or if they don't like you, you can do a thing called deep profile. So it's like Bree doesn't like my group, but I know because of this network thing, I can find out that Bree at 5:00 is going to be at this location, and then 7:00 she goes to this location. At 8:00 she's going to be at this location, but then at 8:00 she's going to be hanging out with her friend Stephanie, and Stephanie's
Nikolai says he's on his way.
cool. So Stephanie is going through debt problems. So then I find this out through her data mining, go to Stephanie, help her get through her debt, and then Steph is a sympathizer now of DeadSect, then tells Bree, and Bree goes, well, maybe they're not that bad, because a lot of the things that this hacking group has been the game starts, you're like a 007 agent, and you go to Parliament in UK, and you go there to stop whatever this privatized militia who has taken over Britain. Like, they're not government, but they're a privatized police force, and they are pretty much setting up your hacking group, who's like anonymous, who is pretty much showing the injustice of the government and showing the injustice of what they're doing to people, and they're doing horrible things to people. They blow up Parliament and like 4 other major things in Britain and blame it on your hacking group. and then arrest and kill most of the group. So then you are recruited by the last member of Dead Sect, and you're just some random person, and then you as that random person go around the city and recruit more people on your team, and then you can swap in between each person, and each person has their benefits and their flaws and stuff like that. So depending on how you play the game, you want to find people that suit your play style, but then you may need somebody else to do a mission because they're better at something else. So you're pretty much building this whole stable of team, and you're trying to convert London back to seeing that you weren't the bad guy, and they need to uprise against this militia.
I'm pretty sure too. It's like it's a permadeath game.
It can
So
be.
if
You can turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can shut it off.
Yeah.
I thought so. I mean, I think the permadeath feature is cool
It's
because
way better,
it's like
yeah.
how many, as long as you have characters in your group or whatever,
Mhm.
then you'll be fine.
Yep.
One person dies, it trades out for the next character in line or whatever.
And if your character dies, he's gone.
Gone
And if
for
he gets
good.
arrested, you have to then go and bust him out, or you just wait till his timer goes, because then you can recruit. Like, so say if one of my characters gets arrested, I can go and get a paralegal, recruit them to my team, and she can go and get him out of jail.
I think that's what
Oh,
makes
okay.
it probably difficult for like story enrichment is like you're not getting connected to one character.
Yeah, so
you're just
that
kind
that well, the thing is, the story that I mean, the overall story of like doing the tasks. The tasks are fun. You know your overall goal, but when like you're doing it, you're not like you're kind of. It's better when you're creating your own story and you're going and getting your people and going in and
Mhm.
raiding bases and stuff like that. That makes it fun because you're creating your own story.
Mhm.
And like I said, the fact that you can go and like, so say if you really want to recruit this person, right? Like I really want Brie on my team. She's super good hacker, right? But then,
Good job, Brie.
but then I go and try to help. I go and try to help
A
her
pro.
friend, right? And I fail. Then her friend goes and tells Bree, "Yo, they fucked me over." Then Bree's even more against our group, and I have to work triple to find to like. Or if you're out in the street and you see a guy getting beaten up,
Mhm.
that guy could be against you. But if you stop him from getting beat up, then he like. So there's every single thing like. A person on your team, his best friend may be going through something, and if you help his best friend, then like because everyone signed like so every character in the game, every NPC in the game can be recruited.
Old
then
ladies.
but then every NPC in the game also has a mother, a father, a best friend,
Yeah.
a possible brother, a coworker, and then that person has his own mother. Like it's
That's crazy.
the
Wow.
spider web of this game is so immersive.
Holy
It's
moly.
really really fun.
Yeah. My
Wow.
cousin Ben's been playing it too, so he's been telling
it's
me all of
addicting.
that. My other cousin Scott, he already beat it. He's
Yeah.
waiting for New Game Plus to come out and co-op. This kid can grind games like nothing.
So
Like,
what
it's
I tend to do in
insane.
Ubisoft games like Assassin's Creed in this game is they say, okay, here's your overall mission arc, right? But they give you the whole map, and they're saying
Mhm.
these maps are taken over by the thing. So what I like to do for some reason, I like to go and do all the collectibles. So there's these green points that you get, and then the green points give you better attributes and better stuff for your tools.
Oh.
So I go around and collect all the points, upgrade all of my tools to max level, then go and liberate the entire map, and then do the story.
Hmm.
And it kind of makes the game too easy then, but for my video game OCD,
The
that's the way.
campaign is
questing.
easy.
Mhm.
Then.
Yeah, because in the campaign I'm going into I'm going into the very second mission of the game
you're already
fully
prepared. Yeah.
fully jacked. My whole team I have a full stable of team. Like the areas
That's
of the map
one thing
are,
that games seem to not be able to get good at is like level scaling.
yeah.
Just like from like I mean it's probably difficult because you're already creating all these items and then all these items have their own like specific values, right?
Yeah.
You need to be able to create a system where it like knows what items you have, the values they have.
Assassin's
and
Creed
what
does that.
to- yeah.
It'll level up the bosses
Yeah.
higher. This
But the normal enemies too should be difficult.
The thing with this game is if you get really good at stealth, you run rampant through
Mhm.
this game.
I think another problem too is like most developers see like, oh well, if the character's good here, we'll just throw more enemies at him, but the
Yeah.
enemies are all the same level anyway,
Yeah.
and you're just like powering
Yeah.
through it.
Let me check the chat. So Andy and Jen are talking in the chat. Jen shared. Thank you so much, Jen.
Thanks, Jen.
Mary shared. Thank you so much.
Hi, Mary.
So we did do a giveaway for the banners, and the only two people who participated were Rish and Jen. So
Aw.
Jen, she just gave me her address. I'm waiting to. We're probably gonna send it out this Sunday, Jen. But you are getting the old Not Cool in High School banner, the one where it's just the microphone and the show name. And Rish won the kitty for Truth Behind Illusion.
Mhm.
But the Truth Behind Illusion banner that we have
Mhm.
will be getting changed. So we'll be doing another giveaway when that one's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
wonderful.
when we get the new Not Cool in High School logo, this banner will get exchanged. But this one I may give it to my mom because it's my childhood photo. So I
Aw,
might
that's
give it to my
cute.
mom or my aunt or something. But somebody in the family will get that one, or I may keep it. I don't know because it has my stupid
Very
face on it.
cute.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Congratulations to our
So
winners.
Yes.
thank you guys so much for the participation.
It's wonderful.
Hopefully next time we have more participation and make it a little
Yeah.
easier. But we are doing a giveaway for Tornado Tag Podcast because we are getting a new logo. So we're gonna do it with Royal Rumble. So if you're a wrestling fan, Royal Rumble, there's 30 people in the Rumble. There's a
Mhm.
men's Rumble and a women's Rumble.
Yep.
So what number you pick, depending on how many people play. So if I only get 20 some people to play or 30 some people to play, we're gonna give you a number, and your number, we'll give you 2 numbers or 1 number. We'll figure it out, or we'll draw numbers for you. And whatever number you get, if your number wins the Rumble, we'll give you the banner.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that for the Tornado Tag
really
banners.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy for all of our winners.
Andy played Pumpkin Jack on the Switch, and it's a fun third-person action adventure. It's not a 9 or 10 game, but it was made by only 2 guys. Interesting.
wow.
Oh, great.
Pumpkin Jack.
That
Indie
sounds
games,
cute.
Indie games.
And
just
has
work
anyone
out.
else played or watched anything?
I'm still watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I did start Unsolved Mysteries. I don't remember if I said that
Oh,
or
yeah,
not.
I-
So
I-
good
yeah, I
this
need to start
season.
watching
I
that.
So
I binged through that already.
it's good. I like this season so far.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 episodes that are kind of, but overall,
them so
yeah,
far.
there was 1 or 2 that just drug out.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sound like mean, but usually when I have to read the subtitles, there's 2 episodes that where it's
Yeah.
like 2 different. They're all interviewed and they don't like. Remember the old Unsolved Mysteries where like the person spoke another language and they dubbed it
They
with a
dubbed it-
person.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and my wife was kidnapped. It's just the whole time is just fucking. You have to read the subtitles,
yeah.
and then it's just like a 2-hour episode, and you're just like, you know what? At this point, I don't care.
Oh, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't usually bother me.
I'm
Yeah, I
never.
don't
I'm not helping
mind.
your family.
I'm
so-
not helping
like-
your family. I can't
I like to
understand
learn
your
about other
reading.
cultures,
situation.
so I'm
Yeah.
fine with it.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I don't care. I don't. That doesn't bother me. I can watch a movie with subtitles, but just like an unsolved mystery episode. I'm
I
just
think
like,
it depends too. Like how interesting is the actual mystery, and how long does it take
think
for
that's the
them to
problem.
get to the point of
Yeah.
how interesting the mystery is? They're like, yeah, and then he just didn't come home the one day, and then that's how that's been.
that politician one was really insane.
Oh, the politician in the first season.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, in the new season where he was found in a dumpster,
Oh, that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was very interesting.
like a legit U.S.
What?
politician who was like, which is kind of insane to me. Like
He was a White House assistant.
he was a White House assistant and he was completely senile.
Wow.
And he was still working. Like they'd be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, he would just forget where he parked his car."
And they were
sometimes.
okay with that?
And they just let him go to work.
How do
every
you
day.
know
He had
remembers?
he actually had bipolar.
But he had
Untreated bipolar.
He had untreated bipolar, and he had some type of thing where he had really bad memory loss and dementia too.
Mm-hmm.
But he still had his job, and they'd just be like, "Cool."
Did he only remember his
U.S.
job
government
part?
be like, okay, you can still have your
Okay.
job.
Right? Like they would be like, "Oh, as long as he has his cell phone, he'll just like." There's times where he would take a taxi home because he forgot where he parked his car.
Yeah.
He
Mhm.
just didn't bring
So
his
this
car to work
dude,
today.
this dude
Like,
went
just-
missing, and then was found wearing on
One shoe.
on security camera. He had like one shoe on, and then
He's
he said he
carrying the
lost his
other shoe.
briefcase, and then he was found here, and then he went from like New York to Jersey to Philly, and then was found back in Jersey 3 hours later in a landfill.
Were they trying to say
Mhm.
someone killed him? Because it
Oh, he was
sounds
100%
like
murdered.
Oh,
but,
he was murdered.
but they
yeah.
just could.
It's
They
gruesome.
lost his trace. Like at one point he didn't know where he was. So some hotel room, he just went to the basement and slept in a broom closet.
Mm-hmm.
And then just woke up the next day and then just started walking the streets of Philadelphia and then was found dead in Jersey.
Newark.
Newark.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Newark,
my
New Jersey, yeah.
brain.
Oh, I
hurts
thought it was
from
Delaware, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's,
There might as well be.
yeah.
Oh, Newark's a good spot.
Yeah.
Wow,
Newark's a good spot for
that's
that.
crazy.
It was just fucking, and I'm just like, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, no one, like, called, looked for him. No, like, you know
He's
what I mean?
a
Like,
politician.
Yeah.
Well, his wife was trying to get a hold of him, but she couldn't because he couldn't find his cell phone.
yeah. But I mean, like, she'd be like, he would just get lost all the time, so we just assumed he was.
It was fine. Everything's
Yeah.
fine. The check keeps
And then there was
coming
some.
in,
Then there
so-
was some weird things where like the house across the street from him was like vandalized, and then his house was ransacked, and there was a whole bunch of other weird stuff going on with it.
And that's where his cell phone was in the house across the street, where they were like working on
I
it.
feel
Like,
like
and
they
somebody
shouldn't even
someone
want-
set off a smoke bomb the
Mhm.
night his house was ransacked, but then his phone was found in the event, like
I
the
feel like I wouldn't even want to mess with the
The
guy. I would just
construction.
want to get him fired. Like if I was that type of person that I'm like, oh, I gotta murder this dude that doesn't know what he's doing. Like I would just be like, you can't see that like there's a problem here.
Yeah,
Like you
it
wouldn't
was-
logically just be like, look.
I think there's more like reasons. You know what I mean? Like
Fair.
what? Yeah, it
like,
wasn't.
Yeah.
He was
government reasons, maybe.
Government
Conspiracy
reason. Oh yeah,
reasons.
government didn't kill this
the Clintons. It's
politician.
the Clintons.
Oh my god.
That's the.
Oh, I
the-
wasn't going there, but
Yeah.
maybe.
I didn't really know.
Like maybe he was
Um,
like an agent or something.
So
who
Jen did
knows?
say the
Maybe.
Mandalorian. Without going too deep into it, I think pretty much everyone who's watching it's really into it.
Oh yeah, I love the
Oh,
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I won't. We won't go into much. 'Cause it's not over yet, right? Or still.
It just started. Yep, that's something.
But they're
I
not
watched.
like you can't
Mhm.
binge watch that. They do week to week.
No, week
Yeah.
to week.
So
yep,
we're not
That's
gonna
the
go.
best
episodes.
way to do it, honestly. I hate when they post the entire season. Even though I love it, at the same time I just hate it because I know that's when people are gonna watch it all the way through
Mhm.
and then put up the post on like, oh, I can't believe this happened. Like Baby Yoda dying in that first episode. But
Baby Yoda
that
is
didn't happen.
funny. Nice try over there. yeah, yep, it comes out every Friday. Yep, I think. Yeah, it's great. It's off to a great start. Tim Elephant. How do you say his last name?
Elephant. I think so.
Elefante. I don't know.
Belafonte.
Belafonte.
Deo.
He was in the
Deo.
first episode wearing Boba Fett's armor, and then you wonder, why does he have Boba Fett's armor? How did he get it? You know, is he a Mandalorian? Well, of course he's not. He bought Boba Fett's armor from a bunch of Jawas. So then, how did he get it? And what's going on with Boba Fett? Is Boba Fett alive or dead? And then you have to watch the whole episode to find out. I don't know if I should spoil
Did
that for
Bo-
anybody.
did Boba Fett exist in the first place?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Boba Fett's alive.
Have you not watched
No.
any Star Wars ever?
Well, I just don't know what's canon anymore.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
so
very
Boba
true.
Boba Fett exists in canon. Yes,
Okay.
yes, he does.
For now, right? For now.
I don't know if I can. I don't know. Have we
Yeah.
all seen it? Can I answer this
no,
question?
Do not. Do not.
Yeah, just
do
in
not
case
do.
people haven't seen
Yeah.
it. I'm not watching it. But
I'm
I
not
personally
watching
don't care,
it, but I don't think we should spoil it.
Oh,
Nah.
It's a great show. Go
Another
check
movie
it
I
out.
watched since last week. I have to start taking a notepad like of what I watched and stuff to keep
Yeah, I
track.
need to
The
start doing
new
that too.
Borat movie was the.
Dude.
Are you watching
Oh,
that?
boy.
It's
Can we spoil that one?
it's Well, yeah, we could talk about the scene that everyone's talking about.
Which one? The
The
The,
politician
Rudy
the Rudy
Giuliani.
Giuliani scene.
Yeah.
So when
Oh,
I
didn't
first
hear
watched
about
it, I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I went back and watched it again.
Kind of wish there was more.
No, all right. So first off, do I think he knew the character? I'm gonna say character was a 15-year-old girl. No,
I don't know.
I think the movie portrayed her to be a 15-year-old girl that
Yeah.
went to Giuliani, but they were drinking whiskey and stuff together. So I don't think they were like, this girl's underage.
Mhm.
It is kind of strange that he allowed himself to go into a bedroom alone with her. I will say that.
Mhm.
Red flag, right?
The other stuff.
He tapped her on the back while she was helping him take the microphone off. Now,
Mhm.
where I will say, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Usually when they do run a microphone in you, they go down your shirt
Mhm.
and they usually go under your shirt line and then into your back.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So
that's how they do it for theater too.
so it was down his pants and under his shirt. So he put the mic on, then tucked his shirt back in. Now, Rudy Giuliani is not a spring chicken, and he's not a very skinny man either. So in that situation, they are on a bed. So him laying back to put his shirt back into his pants does seem logical. How he said he was just tucking his shirt in.
Mhm.
They made it seem like, or played it, that he was playing with his penis.
Well, that's why I think that the scene should have went on longer before he walked the dude.
But if
before the
it
dude
went on
walked in.
longer and it didn't play to the narrative,
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been anything.
there
been
wouldn't have been
anything,
anything. So
exactly.
it's I don't want to. I'm not going to go out and publicly say I think Rudy Giuliani was a creep in that situation, but I also would say I can see the other side where he defended himself. You know what I mean? So I'm torn. I'm very torn.
I think it's half and half though, because
I
like,
just think if you're a
throughout-
politician
throughout
and
the
a
entire
girl,
scene, it
you're
seemed
drinking
like-
whiskey with a girl, I wouldn't go into a bedroom.
Yeah,
with her.
throughout the scene, the
He's a
entire
lawyer, right?
beginning
He's a
scene
lawyer,
of
right?
that,
Yeah.
it just seemed like he was being kind of like creepy and weird. Like I'll ask you questions, or like I don't.
I
know.
think he was being.
I think he was being nice, but I don't know. Like I don't know.
To me, he was being a politician.
Yeah.
He was over laughing and I mean, but but here's the whole thing too. The entire time, she kept putting her hand on his lap and
Yeah.
touching his knee and engaging on touching him.
Yeah.
So they were baiting him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't. The only time he physically touched her is when he touched her on her back while she was helping him take her microphone off. The only time they made contact.
True.
Most of the touching interaction came from her to him.
Yeah.
And if you're going there to set a guy up, are you super? That's just what I. Now, do I think from a comedy standpoint the movie was funny? Sure.
Oh, it was
Absolutely
hilarious.
funny. I think if you're now, I think a lot of people who were probably fans of the first movie did not like this one because it was very one-sided when it came to who they were picking on.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of people were like that movie sucked because of that reason. But it is what it is. It
There
played
were-
it played
there-
into the stereotypes of what we've been going through in this political
Yeah.
atmosphere.
There were scenes too where it was completely unrelated to the politic thing, where he goes into like the church and
Yeah.
but like it was super Borat.
That
though,
that
you know?
woman's family is suing the movie
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
because she died soon after that movie.
What?
Yeah, well, just
What
old
woman?
age.
Oh,
The
okay.
Jewish lady.
Yeah.
I didn't see Borat. I just saw the clips of.
He
Rudy
goes
Giuliani.
into a synagogue dressed as a Jew, and he puts
Well,
the fake nose on and the
Yeah,
horns,
Oh,
like
okay.
a whole
and
thing.
this little sweet old Jewish woman sits him down and says, "What you're talking about is not stereo." Pretty much, Jesus has a moment where he realizes everything his country has taught him is bullshit, like how they degrade women and how he thinks Jews are the enemies. And Borat has that moment where he realizes everything is not what it seems from his
Mhm.
country because he gives his daughter this book that tells her that women can't drive and that women can't do anything, and like all the stereotypes that
Yeah.
were Borat are now all crushed.
What's wild
Yeah.
too is I think I felt from watching that specific scene, you see him like trying so hard not to break character from like this
Because
lady being
Sacha
so
Baron
genuine.
Cohen, I believe, is Jewish.
Yeah.
If I could be
I
wrong,
don't know.
I
have
could
no
be
I'm
idea.
not
wrong.
sure.
but you can tell where he met a super kind, amazing human being.
Mhm.
And I guess her family, after it was over, like the woman signed the release and said, "Oh no, I'm actually glad he came in because I actually
He
he-
taught him a lesson. or,
exactly."
Like,
And
taught
even
the
though it
woman.
was a movie and it was all planned, I guess her family was like, "We feel like she was tricked." And then her whole thing of signing the release was, "Yes, you tried to trick me, but I did the right thing."
Mhm.
Aw.
You watch the scene
Aw.
and you're like, wow, that's a great person. Like just
Mm.
even though
100%.
even though he still plays the character, I can't imagine that after that scene they didn't go back in and were like, hey, like, don't be upset.
I think
Like,
that's what they do
yeah.
with every scene. Yeah. Except the
That
only
dude
problem
with
is
the
that-
fucking fax machine. That's not spoiling
No.
anything, but the fax machine throughout the whole film, like how?
Yeah.
Just how? He had to fucking
It literally
do that.
goes to show that people can literally do anything, and some people just overlook the smallest details. Yeah.
So I don't think I saw the first Borat. I think I only saw parts of it. I don't remember if I saw the whole thing, and I definitely didn't see this one. So I have no idea what
The-
you're
I love the
talking
first
about.
Borat.
Like,
The-
period. None of
the,
this. I have no
um,
idea what's
Mhm.
going on. I
The
didn't even
agenda
read.
of Borat is to show, like, this is why Borat was created. So every character that Sacha Baron Cohen has made was to show the ignorance of society. So he made Ali G to show that even if you're the dumbest piece of shit, you can still make it and become famous, and people will watch your nonsense.
Oh, okay.
Like, you don't need talent to be successful. That's
Okay,
that's why
that
Ali
makes
G was
sense.
created.
I don't think I saw that much of that
Bruno
either.
was created to show the
I saw
homophobic
Bruno either.
Bruno. He plays a gay Austrian model.
I know who Bruno is. Like,
Yeah.
I know. So I know who his characters are, but I never watched. I
Yeah.
don't think I saw any of his work. I saw him in Will Ferrell's movie.
Yeah, Talladega
Talladega
Nights.
Nights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it. And I
Um,
love him in that movie,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I love his wife.
He was also great in not Edward Scissorhands. What the hell? What's the other one? Sweeney Todd.
Didn't see Sweeney Todd
he was
either,
in Sweeney
sadly.
Todd.
He was the other barber that the Italian one.
Okay.
So
But like
Purelli.
every character he plays is supposed to be overly not overly offensive, but overly absurd to be like would you really think that this is like
Well,
how do you
Well, yeah.
believe
Well,
in
to go
this?
back to what I was saying, Bruno. So Bruno was created to pretty much show the underlining homophobicness of a lot of the world, and Borat was kind of to show that America does have a hidden racist culture to it,
okay,
because he comes and he has an accent and he doesn't understand people, and he kind of tries to show like, or people, what would people do if given the opportunity to meet someone from another country who doesn't know everything that they have? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
oh, okay.
And a lot of people do, for the most part, like in the HBO series and stuff that he did, a lot of it was people just very, very confused and then just kind of being over accepting. So his whole meaning was like and sometimes over flawed, where he didn't find the racist people. He found well, he kind of did, because like he would say like sexist things or
Yeah.
misogynistic things or stuff against black people or Jewish people, and people would be like, "You're right," you know what I mean? But then sometimes he would find people and he'd like his first thing he would do is he would walk into someone's house, and then their whole thing was, "We're gonna bring a foreign guy into your house, and he's gonna have a dinner party with you." And within the first 3 minutes of being in your house or coming in, he goes, "I'm bored. Can I go take a shit?" So he sets the bar right off the bat.
It's like we're like the really southern. It's like, well, all right. We
Yeah,
usually don't
yes.
say that word,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
all right.
He's like, "Last night I watched the porno," and they're
Oh my
like, and they're just like, "Oh my god, yeah."
I think I'd
Um,
die.
I was like
I
in
think
the
I'd laugh
first
my ass
in the
off.
first movie when he went to go learn how to drive. Like, God loved like the driving instructor. He
Oh
was
my
just so
God.
nice, and he just like Borat just kept saying like shit about like women and like not being able to like it just like, and you can do whatever you want, and he was just like, well, and the driving instructor was just like, no, well, in this country we have a thing called consent, and you like, it was just like oh, poor
Yeah.
fucking guy.
So it's just kind of a comedy thing, and it's kind of like Jackass, where they get unsuspecting
There's
people to
hidden
see.
camera
to see how they
scenes,
would
and
react
then
to
there's
stuff.
and then there's the obviously scripted scenes and stuff
Yeah.
like that too.
So the last bit of thing we'll get into here quick, because Nikolai is on his way. Those two things I'll get into real quick. If you're a video game fan and also a pro wrestling fan, I guess they said tomorrow they are going to announce possibly the AEW video game and
Oh, cool.
and give people
Are they gonna
developments.
show like trailer.
I don't know. They just said there's going to be an announcement to the video game coming
I
Wednesday.
hope that there's some form of like artwork or something.
The
to,
rumor is
like-
they are trying very hard to get the old N64 engine that everybody wants.
What? Do you think they want the engine, or do you think that they want just that type of gameplay?
They
Because I
want the
don't think-
control scheme. They
Yeah.
want like the very
which
simple.
shouldn't be difficult. It
The
should not
people
be
who own that
difficult.
control scheme,
Oh, they like have a patent on it.
yeah, they keep it under a lock and key, and if you want to use it, you have to pay a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're a wrestling fan and a video game fan, that news is coming out. I am working on another possible interview with RetroSoft Studios, the people who are making Retromania video game. We'll probably talk about that on Tornado Tag if we do get him to call in again. It is another wrestling game coming out very soon, and the guy who is making it is from State College.
Oh, cool. Now, is that the one that Andy had tried to get in on before?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he would try to get in, but the guy who got in is his name is Warhorse. I actually have his autograph over there. He's a pretty big deal now.
Oh,
sick.
okay.
Yeah. Trying to think what else here. Oh, the last bit of news. We had someone pass away.
Oh, yes, we did.
Sean Connery passed away.
I totally forgot that just happened.
Yeah. So,
sad.
just like we said with Eddie Van Halen, Sean Connery does not come without controversy.
Yep.
But if we're going to talk about his work as an actor, very talented.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the. He was in the Molly Maguire movie. He was in The Rock. He was in a lot of. He was James Bond.
Yes, James Bond.
Very talented actor.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Mhm.
As a human being,
He was a shithead.
not so good.
He was a bastard.
Yeah, he was openly proud of smacking women around.
I actually was not aware of that.
He did an
Yeah.
interview
With Barbara Walters.
with Barbara Walters. She's like, "So you still all about hitting women?" He goes, "If the woman needs it, she gets it.
Yeah, I never knew
It's
that.
not that bad
Very
of a thing.
disappointing.
Not
Good
a,
to
not
hear.
a bad
It's
thing.
not a
to
bad thing.
hit her-
Women are really good at not really letting things just be. So when they step out of line,
You got to
you
put
gotta
them back in
them
their place.
And
I-
Barbara Walters is just kind of like,
I hate you.
what?
She's like, there's a camera right there. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah, he
I'll
was,
talk about the Jews and the gays too if you want me to.
He was a
he was
bastard.
very.
He
I
did
mean,
say that.
yeah, he was. I
He
mean,
was
he
a
didn't say that
bastard.
part, but he has been known to have opinions that in today's day and age would not fly. We'll say
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he was a,
in his time period, no one cared.
Yeah.
But
he
in
grew up in a
today's
different
stand
time.
and in today's stand, so we will acknowledge him for his talents and his work,
hi.
but we will also acknowledge the
I didn't
fact
even
that
hear you come in. I got scared.
he said some pretty fucked up things.
Oh
He
yeah.
did.
Sean Connery.
I did hear
Sure.
that
Yeah.
somebody did bring that to my attention, and I wasn't aware of it. And then it was also brought to my attention privately that he did recant that in 2006. So
Well, time has changed. And
Yes.
Really, I can't openly talk about slopping women.
I'm hoping he meant what when he recanted it. I'm
Yeah.
hoping he meant it.
Yeah.
I was not aware of either interviews, but I was aware that somebody when I posted the article in our group, somebody told me about it,
Yeah.
and then somebody privately reached out to me and said he recanted it, and they were upset that somebody brought this to our attention in the group when we were trying to honor him for his death. So
Yeah, well,
I'm just gonna
that's the
say
thing
that.
too.
Yeah,
Listen,
I'm just gonna say that.
if that's the way we try to handle things on the show,
Mhm.
we're not going to over publicize, but we are going to say what's out there and what's on
Yeah.
record.
Yeah,
So
I'm just saying
just
what was
like
brought to my attention.
when Eddie Van Halen died,
Mhm.
amazing at guitar,
Yeah.
but he enjoyed drugs,
Yeah.
alcohol, and he
Oh, yeah.
didn't treat a lot of people around in his inner circle
Right.
very well.
Yep.
It is what it is. We're going to talk about both sides, but we are going to respect him for his craft and his skill. You know,
Yes. Mhm.
just like a lot of people with John Wayne. John Wayne said some really racist ass stuff, but
Yeah.
he
not
also said it
familiar
in
with
the
that either.
fucking in the 50s when
Yeah.
you have to realize the 50s are not 2020. You know what I mean? Like
Times are
times
different.
are different. People
Mhm.
thought different things. Should we not watch his movies ever again? Absolutely not.
Do
Like,
whatever you want.
Enjoy
Do whatever
art
you want.
because every single person who creates art probably has a past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also,
but-
human beings.
but you
know?
also have to-
Yes,
Like,
they are flawed.
but
we
you
are
also
flawed.
has to
Yeah.
address it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
you
like
do.
so like example when we did the Harry Potter thing, we said we're gonna focus on the movies and the actors who played in the movie, but the lady who created it said this. This is what she said, and this is what it means to
And
us.
the actors aren't even about it anymore. Like
I think they're not about it though because of the
Daniel Radcliffe doesn't even want to be a part of it.
Well,
if she,
is
there's some
he
shit
not a
like
part of
that.
it because he genuinely feels that way, or is he a part of it because of what?
Because of the
Because
PR.
what
The
she
media.
said is really not that bad, in
Mhm.
my opinion. And you can say I'm a dickhead for it, but that's just my opinion.
I don't think what she said
I
was
think
that
she
bad
stood up
either.
more for what she's comfortable with
Mhm.
and female rights.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
And but it really comes down to where does female rights start and stop, and where does trans rights start and
Yeah.
stop. And there has to be a barrier where they work together,
Mhm.
just like in anything in life. There
Mhm.
has to
True.
be a barrier where we meet in the middle. So if a female's uncomfortable, maybe sharing a public space or a private space, I think you have the right to express that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It is what it is.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
There's a
Doesn't
place for everybody.
exactly.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I understand that they want to be accepted and use those spaces too, but you have to meet in the middle.
Right.
And that's pretty much
Which is probably just a lot of genderless bathrooms.
Yeah.
I
And
personally
bathroom's a
think we should
bathroom.
just
That's
go what they
another
do
thing.
in Europe, where you walk into an actual just one room, and then you go into a private stall, and you use your bathroom,
Well, it
and then
should
walk
just
out
be
of
a
your
st-
private
yeah,
stall.
they should just be stalls anyway. Like
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I hate urinals in general. Like I just
You
think
get
urinals are fucking.
Do you get weird when someone
yeah,
can just look down at you?
Well, yeah.
I get weird when I walk
get-
into a hockey rink and he has his pants all the way down at the urinal.
Busted. I
Well,
did
it's
it-
the like
I
eye
did-
contact thing too,
No,
where you're like
no.
looking at the wall, and then you can feel like there's totally someone next to you, like peering towards you, and then you like look over for a second and do that thing. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what is that?
So what
What
Nic-
is that head
what
nod?
Nikolai's
Like,
talking
what does
about
that mean?
is I went to a hockey game, and I did what they call a kindergarten pee. So
Yeah, you had your ass hanging out.
you pull
yeah.
your pants and your underwear down to your ankles and take a pee in a public bathroom.
The hockey jersey covered everything.
The
so
hockey
it was
jersey
that
didn't
long,
cover, but people knew what was going on, and it's funny. It's really funny.
I saw an episode of Letterkenny all about this, so I'm quite
Yeah.
aware. There
Oh my
is,
Letterkenny.
God.
I did it in
I
a
love Letterkenny.
crowded hockey game bathroom.
well,
God.
I think something like this happened in Letterkenny too.
And
So you
Nikolai-
probably enjoyed this episode.
Nikolai and
Poor
Kevin were like,
Nikolai.
"You fucking psychopath."
Oh my God.
I think we have the photo still.
I have it
somewhere.
on my phone.
Oh, of
I'll
course
show
you do.
I'll show you guys.
I'll show you guys.
You don't see anything.
First of
You don't
all-
see anything.
No, you
the
don't see
hockey
anything.
the hockey jersey covers everything, but you
Oh,
know what's going down in the
Jesus.
photo.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Were
Hey,
you
Nick-
inspired by Letterkenny? No, I'm just
No, I
joking.
just,
What a show.
Kindergar-
oh, Letterkenny.
kindergarten-
I'm glad somebody else here
Yeah.
enjoys
It's so
it besides
funny.
myself.
kindergarten
It's
peeing has
great.
been a thing for a while.
Oh my God. That looks like it would be
That's
a
Bat-
Bloodhound
that's
Gang album
Batman.
cover.
Yeah.
Yes, it
It-
is.
it's
Batman
it was
jersey from the
Batman
Red
night at the
Royals.
hockey game. Yeah.
Ah, very
That's
cool.
great.
All right, Nikolai's here. Well, before we get into the topic, what have you been playing or into or watching or doing?
So I'm getting bored of Fortnite.
Are you?
Getting bored
Yeah.
of
Can't say I
I'm
blame
just-
you.
Are you getting annoyed with the ghost thing?
No, it's not that. I'm just, I don't know. I'm feeling the whole like 230 level kind of garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm just tired.
I don't like the fact that we play like 5 or 6 games and don't get one level. That annoys me.
Yeah.
Like once you do all the weekly challenges and the tasks, like your
It's
1K
like-
chance, like you don't level up unless you play 100 games, and
Yeah.
they need to give you a little more experience for stuff.
Hmm.
That's my opinion.
I mean, I still feel like I'm gonna complete it, but I'm just like, oh god, I just want this to be done.
Yeah, I go in, do my dailies, and I'm out of there.
Yeah. Like that's why I sat on. we just chatted on Xbox
Yeah.
yesterday because I was like, I don't really.
Ghost
wanna
Rider
play.
is coming soon.
I know. I am excited for Ghost
I'm
Rider.
gonna buy Ghost Rider.
How
Yeah.
long do you think they're gonna do the fucking Marvel? They've been like
They said till
Till
November
November
They've
30th.
literally
30th.
they've
Yeah.
done this way longer than they did the DC thing, and I don't know if it's because they could get more rights for Marvel.
I think that's what it was.
I think
but
though
it's
too,
fucking.
it's also like when it came out because it's a weird time frame of like you have the like they don't really change anything holiday wise until Christmas
Mhm.
where they do all that. So it's kind of like we need to fill up space
Yeah.
because they don't do anything for Thanksgiving. They did a week for Halloween, so it was like it's probably just easier for them to keep Marvel going.
I guess
Instead
so,
of
but
designing
it's
a
like
whole new
how
story.
much money are they getting from the Marvel characters, and like that's like a thing that people don't look into is like those are Marvel in itself is a mess with rights, right? So
Mhm.
it's like how can Fortnite get the rights to Venom's like powers as like the symbiote powers where you can just grab people or whatever, like
Yeah.
use your arms, but they couldn't get the right to Spider-Man, so you could be superhero man.
Well,
and,
that's because of
and then get the Spider.
PlayStation.
Right,
I still think
but you
I
can't
still,
be Spider-Man on PlayStation.
No, I know, but I'm sure
I think-
PlayStation has a hand in.
I think he's
We're
coming.
not.
I still think he's coming.
You think?
Yeah.
Man, yo, how about? I know this is unrelated, but like, how about like Marvel Avengers dying out super fast?
Oh,
Like,
it's like
that's-
they don't even are they even not updating it or anything
I
anymore?
I
No.
haven't seen anything on it. I played it a little bit, and then it just like I haven't seen
Real
any
quick.
information for it at all.
Called it.
I haven't seen any information. I could be wrong. It could be still going strong, but it's like, have you played it? Have you guys
I
played
have
it?
not played
I
it.
didn't.
No, I haven't played
didn't.
it.
I didn't
Yeah.
buy it because I sniffed that shit out from the start.
Yeah.
I said this game is not going to be what we think it is.
It makes me sad though because it had a lot of potential. It had a lot of cool
Sure.
things going
It had
for
Marvel.
I
Got-
agree.
It had the
Yeah.
hy- it had the
It
hype
had
train.
Marvel. It had the hype train.
I know like one person who really enjoyed that game, and that's it. Well,
Did-
her and
Did
her
they say
siblings,
that
yeah.
it's good still, or?
I'll have to ask them. I know that it's my friend Lisa, her and her brothers, they really enjoyed it, and they like up to like a week or so, like I'd say like the beginning to middle of last month, they were still playing it and really enjoying
I
it.
think it's probably way more fun with teammates, but like every mission that's not a main campaign thing is like the same thing over
like-
and over
it's just
again.
like
it's like
Guard
Ghost
this,
Recon.
Guard this location.
Yeah, it's like Ghost Recon where it's like you already know what you have to do, you do it, and then it's over. But like the campaign missions were super cool, at least from what I played in the beta, because I think the beta was just like the whole game, but like for as long as you could play it. Like you played it, and then when the beta was over, your progress reset.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
the game from what I was told is exactly how I said. Where like you start the game, it's very cinematic, and then once it opens up to multiplayer, it's just a game,
Mhm.
and all that cinematic stuff that caught your
It's
eye.
specific levels.
is
It's
gone.
specific
Yeah.
levels that are cinematic, and then you have like because what it is, it's like a leveling system, and you get points, and then you can use those points
a
to buy
dungeon-
costumes.
It's a dungeon crawler once you get past the
Yeah.
cinematic stuff.
I see.
It's Diablo.
You buy skins, which are different variants of the comic book characters that you.
Andy says online sucks and it's boring, and the game was just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
no,
called
he wasn't
that.
a big fan. He wasn't a big fan.
Yeah. But I know Andy's not an online player. And then once
No.
I told him, I said the game's going to be predominantly once you play it, it goes to the online mode, and you're going to be done with it.
But there's so many games that have done multiplayer well. Like A Way Out was like it was pretty much like you and your friend should play this game.
Yeah,
but you
I
can
want to
play
play
it
that.
single player.
We should stream that.
I'm down. It's you
You're-
just
you-
escape prison with your best friend.
Yeah.
Like
And you cannot play the game with a computer player. You have to play it with a friend.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And then
I like that.
use two are brothers, and you have to work together to escape prison.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Brothers in arms too. In essence, you're not
Yeah.
brothers,
Yeah.
but you know.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I got Shudder, which I
Oh,
was super
yeah.
excited about.
Talk about that movie.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to bring up. So I watched it. Well, the whole reason I got Shudder to start with is because I saw a trailer for a movie called The Cleansing Hour, and if anyone has Shudder, go watch that movie. So basically, what it's about is there's this online show where this guy does like exorcisms. Yeah, and the whole world thinks it's real, but it's all like make believe on set and all that kind of stuff. However, when they're recording their latest episode, someone actually gets possessed, And I was just so impressed by the level of like when you actually see the demon. Now this doesn't spoil anything, but it like takes over a dead body at one point, and you see the body like super close up shots of the body like ripping into pieces, and like you see the hand come out of the hand, and like you see the back of the guy's head, and you see these giant horns and stuff that come up. And the best part about it wasn't CG. He was someone in a suit.
Are you kidding me?
Yes,
That's
it
the
was
shit right there.
incredible.
That's great.
That's awesome.
So
Very cool.
That reminds me of. Oh, I don't want to cut you off.
no,
Keep
no,
going.
no. I was just gonna say if you're into that kind of thing,
Remind me
and it's not a
when
big
the cameras
CG
turn
world,
off. I remember how you told me about a premise you were thinking of.
Yeah.
After you told me, I had a dream of a premise that I think you'll
Oh.
like.
Okay.
In my dream, I think I came up with a movie or a screenplay,
Sweet.
and you can have it.
And you
Okay.
could have it.
It's kind of similar, but it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. We'll talk then.
All right.
But like what you're saying, like how it's like practical effect. Like I fucking love practical
Mhm.
effects. I live for it. That's the only reason I loved Guar is because
Do you
it's
like
like a
Hatchet?
stage bit. I have not watched it yet.
You'll love Hatchet.
But what I wanted to say is how you were saying like how you can see the demon transforming and it's all practical. Dude, have you watched the original Witches movie?
I have not.
You have to watch it, but you'll be kind of disappointed in the new one. So like the whole premise of Witches is witches hate children. They smell like dog shit. That's literally in the film. They state it like, "Oh, you smell like dog crap" to witches. Like they hate it. They hate it. They hate you. And the plan.
they're a virgin.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's
no,
just-
no. The witches
That's a
turn
callback.
the witches turn children into mice. So in the
okay.
in the first film, it's a Jim Henson film, which I didn't know this until I watched it all the way through.
And Hathaway.
I was gonna say, isn't there a trailer for that?
The
floating
new
around
one,
right
yeah,
now?
the new
Okay.
one came out, and Anne Hathaway's in it. And it's a complete reboot, and it's upsetting because in the first film they show this It looks practical. Like there's no way it's not like a robot. They show the kid turning into a mouse, and like his ears just go grow and
Is that
shit.
the
like,
the
it's
movie where the kids
insane.
peek behind the curtain and they're all like pretty women, and then they open the curtain and they're all like terrifying, horrible looking witches?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like people say it was one of the most.
And they
like,
have like scalps, like
Yeah.
scalp scratches, and like all the like
and
all
and
this
it's
stuff.
like as a
yeah.
kid it was like nightmare fuel.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
You watch that now and you're like, wow, that's still kind of terrifying. All the things like the main witch is like just she takes her wig, like she's super beautiful, and then she takes her wig off and she has like a giant like beak like nose.
She has a
which is-
nose and the long nose. And the...
It's- but like it's kind of prominent to the new film because in the new film they turn kids into pretty much any animal, but the main premise is that it's mice.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But like, oh my god, watching the new one upset me because I was so excited to see how they would do the mouse scene, how they would turn the kid into
All
a
CGI.
mouse, and
Yeah.
it's not even like the shirt goes up, there's purple smoke, and then he's just a mouse. He crawls out of the clothing.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks too because in the original film it was all puppets. It was all mouse puppeteering, and
Yeah.
then they had real mice doing certain things, which was cool.
That's
But in
cool.
this one, it's all CGI mice,
Yeah. That's
and
just-
it's all like, yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
it's kind of
don't
ruins
talk,
it
don't,
for me.
Don't talk about puppets, man. That's his thing.
No, I love puppets,
That's
but
what I'm
I
saying.
I don't live in the world. I don't know. CGI bothers me. Like unless you do it right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
take the time and it's not half-assed because we need to get this out.
It's not
Mhm.
half-assed in any way, but it
Right.
just sucks that like you couldn't see that transition from kid to mouse like in
Right.
the original film. Like I was so excited for. It's like
Well, here's the thing too. Can you look at it in this aspect where you're like, if I were to have a kid or turn this kid onto the movie, like, oh, the new one's cool, but you should see how they did things back then and how good it was for being the 80s. Like, you know what I mean? Being that young.
I
time frame.
guess so, but that's kind of a poor, like, not a poor argument. I'm not saying it's a poor argument. It's kind of a weird argument because if you're saying, like, to not scare the kids as much.
No,
the-
I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
the
okay.
technological advance. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, if you watch King Kong, like
Yeah.
the new one, and
Yeah,
you're,
but-
you're blown away how good King Kong looks, and it looks like a legit ape is taking over New York City.
Mm.
And then you go back and watch the one, like the
With the
black and white
claymation.
one,
Yeah.
and you're like, why, that was cool looking
It's
for
still,
its time.
I think it's still preference, though, because
Yeah.
I would still rather watch people in Godzilla suits running around. Like, I would still watch fake
that-
I would too.
kaiju.
that
I would
Godzilla was
too.
so good, though.
I would love that, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think a lot of films these days use decent practical effects. That's why That's why I loved like the Seth Rogen films, just because like whenever there was something stupid happening, it was somewhat practical, and then they'd throw in a fake doll or whatever. But it's like this couch is exploding, or like it's actually happening. It's
Yeah.
not like look at this animated explosion. Or,
Right.
Look at these
I agree
pixels.
with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you're a horror fan, definitely check out Shudder. That's a must for horror fans.
Oh, there's a movie on there. Oh, I don't want to keep fucking talking. There's a movie on there too that's like it's like a zombie film, but it's them filming a zombie movie. So like the whole movie you watch through for about an hour, and then it shows you the behind the scenes of what was happening the whole time, of like the
Oh,
dudes
interesting.
That's meta.
transitioning and stuff like that.
That zombie movie in Korea, the train one is unbelievable.
Oh, Train to
Busami or Buscemi. The train to Steve
Train to Steve
Buscemi.
Buscemi.
Train to Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
That
just call
sounds
it that.
very
It's
interesting.
crazy. He's
It
just
was
at the
really
big.
good.
He's just at the front of the train.
He's like,
Why
"Howdy
are there
do,
all
you
these
fellow
zombies?
kids."
Yeah.
Literally, these people board a train, and
Uh-huh.
as they're going about their everyday lives, getting on this train, like literally, the zombie apocalypse happens,
Oh,
and
that's
one
crazy.
woman gets bit and runs onto the train.
Oh no.
And then they're just on this long ass train ride, and
What a
it
selfish
just
bitch.
goes to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The whole
I'd love
film
to
is
see
them
it.
running to the front of the train.
Yeah. Anyone have anything else before we get to our main
Mm-mm.
attraction?
No.
Nope.
No.
Nothing.
All right. Tonight's episode is going to be Insidious. So if
Best
you're
horror.
timestamp, 1 hour 13 minutes.
You're trying to get to the.
Best horror movie ever, I just want to say.
Ever?
Ever?
Ever, yes.
Ever? That's a stretch.
Yes, nope.
Come on.
Nope,
Best
it's my
horror
favorite.
movie ever.
Yes, I stand by
Clearly,
it.
you haven't seen La Llorona.
You
No,
need-
I actually haven't.
I actually watched
Garbage.
it.
I would
watched
like
it.
to. I
We
would
all
like
did.
to.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were all there.
Yeah.
I didn't get to
Great
see it.
film.
I
Feel
thought it was
left
good.
out.
Yeah, I thought it was the best horror movie ever.
Did you really, or are you just making
No,
fun of
it's
me again?
it's literally so great.
No,
The
it's-
CGI
He's
is
not- he's
amazing.
lying.
The
It's
practical
a
effects.
James Wan movie, so it's the same
Oh,
thing as
so
Insidious.
cookie cutter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Don't-
James
don't-
Wan.
don't
If you ever
cro-
watch this, I do appreciate your work. Keep making it because I
Don't-
love horror, but change
Insidious,
change around some stuff.
Insidious is cookie cutter.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
I wouldn't say Insidious.
No.
Yes.
I think it is. Yeah.
Oh god.
I
so
wouldn't.
Maybe it started the cookie cutter trend.
No.
Yeah,
No, it didn't.
I was.
I
Gonna
think
say,
it started. the
This
cookie
movie
cutter
has been
trend.
made 100 times.
No.
In my,
but
all
not by
through-
James Wan.
All through the 2000s.
But not-
Dude, Boogeyman, all those PG-13 horror movies from
Mm.
2000 on have been the same style movie.
Sure, but not by James Wan.
But
I think the storyline.
years.
I think
I
the
don't know.
idea of astral projection is something that I don't think has been brought up.
I think the premise
I
of this
agree.
makes
Oh,
it stand out, but where it relies on scaring you on jump scares is a typical PG-13 horror movie.
Oh, I just think that's the scariest part of that movie is hearing the SpongeBob song.
Oh,
Oh,
all right.
By
Oh.
Tiny
the
Tim.
tiptoes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that
Tiny
is
Tim
so
through the
creepy.
tulips. Insidious, a 2010 PG-13, runs for 1 hour 43 minutes. A family looks to prevent evil spirits from trapping their comatose child in a realm called the Further. It averages a 6.8 out of 10. That's 274,920 people. Its Metascore was 52, and its top billed cast was Patrick Wilson, who played Josh Lambert, Rose Byron, played the mother. Then the kids were Ty Simpkins, Lynn Shay, who is fantastic in all horror movies. She was the older lady in it.
Mhm.
Just trying to go through if there's anything else that's
Oh,
interesting.
while you're scrolling through, for those of you who live in the Philly area, keep an eye out for Ty. He tends to pop up there a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram and stuff because I actually got to meet him for an Insidious 2 signing.
Awesome.
And so ever since then, it seems like he's always at Phillies games and stuff like that. So he really likes PA. So
That's
He might be
great.
keep
from
an
PA.
eye. He might be, but keep an eye out for him
Hmm.
because he might just be around the corner.
And you'd be like, yo, you're that kid in the coma?
Yeah.
Yo, you
That's
that
such a
kid in
nice
the
thing to
I
coma.
mean,
say to somebody.
I'm sure now he's more recognized for Jurassic World.
Yeah. And he was in Iron Man 3 as well.
Mhm.
And,
Oh, I
and
didn't realize
Avengers
that was him.
Endgame.
Yeah, well, in the very end, he didn't have any
Oh.
lines or anything at the funeral.
Is he the? Oh, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize that was the same
Yeah.
actor at
Mhm.
all.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'll have to.
It
Pay
doesn't say
attention.
it doesn't say where he's from here in his IMDb.
I just love that. Hey, you're the kid in the coma. You were the kid in the coma.
Directed by James Wan and written by Leah Wanowell. I don't know. Fuck it. Who cares?
I don't know. Fuck it.
Some credit. We're not going to read reviews. Sex and nudity, none. Violence and gore, moderate. Profanity, mild. Drugs, alcohol, and smoking, none. Frightening and intense scenes, severe. We can bump that to mild.
Wow. Oh, you're like
It's
harsh.
It's a good movie.
God, it is. It's
I
excellent.
do not. I wouldn't even put it in my top 20 of horror movies though.
I wouldn't. I mean, I see what you're saying about jump scares, but I'm like going beyond these jump scares. Like just the
You like the
story.
premise.
I love the
Is
premise.
it scary or is it just a good story? That's what
Story's
I
excellent.
want.
I don't think the story's that strong either.
No.
What is
No.
wrong
I think
with
the
you?
story is interesting.
So good.
Just like on like the aspect of like I am somebody that does astral project and like
Yeah.
I do follow it, so I think it's interesting.
Very.
I do think it's interesting, and I like that it was brought to like a media like in the mainstream. At the same time, though, you can't get stuck in the astral plane, and the further is what they're calling is the lower astral.
Yeah.
And you can't get stuck in there.
Oh, that's good to
Here's
know.
some
good.
some interesting facts before we get into it. The film was shot in just 3 weeks.
Holy cow!
Jesus
Wow, that's
Christ.
quick.
Makes sense to me.
What
30,
the fuck?
33
Wow.
violins were used in the theme of the music.
Oh, 33.
Yeah, let's see here. There is a director trademark. So the puppet from Saw is actually drawn on the classroom board when he stays after to work on
So the
assignments.
jigsaw
I saw
Mhm.
that.
pic-
Mhm.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that. But
Which was,
Um,
and it was like, in my opinion, it's like they couldn't have snuck it in a better place.
Well,
You know,
I
in
mean,
my, it was just
I-
like on the board where it was just like, what were you learning about Jigsaw today?
yeah.
It was like,
The
happy
old
Halloween.
woman demon was actually played by a man.
I thought
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I thought so. I never saw Saw.
The
Yeah.
name was originally supposed to be named The Further.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here.
They didn't want it to be super apparent, though. They didn't want, how many times do they? Is there a scene in the movie where they're like, "This thing is insidious"?
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I
Oh
think
my
they do.
God.
Yep, the mom talks about it.
Oh
The
my
mom was just like, it's
God.
something, or it's,
That happens in every movie, though.
No.
I mean, we just get
we're
over
just like,
that.
they said
No,
it. They
Yeah.
said it.
We don't have to get over it.
I know
why
we
does the
don't
why
have
does the
to, but-
story? Why does it have to be like that?
Because it
It's
makes
such
you, it breaks that wall where it's just kind of like they say it, and you're just like,
I think it's
That's
a great.
like- that's
I
like-
think it's a great, powerful word.
It makes-
You know, I do wonder though: is the script written first and then the title,
Probably.
or
I feel like
did they
sometimes
have the
the
title
title
and
is
then they
first.
throw it in?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes the title is first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he did say it was originally supposed to be called The Further.
right?
Yeah.
I'm
They
just saying,
changed
like
it,
with
they-
movies in general.
Yeah.
So I have 23 facts,
I think-
but the
It's gonna be weird to like
They're
do
about the
this
series.
type of like comparison, but I feel like writing a movie and writing a song or an album are like almost in the same, because it's the same thing as like writing a story. You're trying to create something entertaining, and then you want whatever the title is gonna be to relate to what you're creating. But like, when are we gonna separate that and then just have a movie be called The Boy where there's no boy in the film?
like the movie The Boy.
Oh, is that a thing?
That is a
No.
movie. It's yeah.
No,
there was a
but-
boy, Tony.
There was a boy in that film, I'm almost certain.
He was behind the wall.
Possessed boy.
He was behind the wall.
It wasn't a grown. It was a giant ass man.
Yeah, who lived behind the wall for years. He's a boy.
He's a boy.
He wasn't a boy. He was 8'3".
I don't think I saw this one.
Speaking of
Somebody
horror
Don't
films,
worry.
He was
Don't
a
worry
boy
about
at one time.
Not good. Then.
this is just reminding me of See No Evil, the like really oddly
Trying to
good
think
Kane
It's
movie.
really good.
Is that sarcasm?
No, I liked it.
Yeah,
thought
I
it was a good movie.
enjoyed it.
better
and
than Insidious.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes.
yeah,
Dude, Kane chasing you around. That's fucking terrifying.
Kane the wrestler.
Kane the
Kane the wrestler. Yeah,
He is not terrifying.
In this movie, he is
yeah,
fucking
he's got like
terrifying.
messed up teeth.
He
But
looks
like,
he
here's
looks
the
like
thing.
he looks like when he played Isaac Yankem, the dentist.
He's God's hand or something like that, right?
I mean, demons possessing your body is way more terrifying than
I
some
don't
dude
think so.
chasing you
Here's-
around.
I wonder about
He's Michael
demon-
Myers with no mask. He's fucking. It's awesome, and it happens in the
Still
movie,
not scary.
and it
but
happens
Okay.
in the Blackwell Hotel.
Yeah,
In the movie.
That's why you like it.
maybe that's why I watched
It strokes his
from
ego a little bit. And he's
No,
like,
no. Honestly, it's shockingly good.
It is really good.
Yeah,
Well,
The
I've never seen
CGI is shit. The CGI is really shit.
yeah.
I don't know what just
The-
happened to
the-
my
the-
body
the
there.
death scenes are a little corny sometimes, but
Yeah,
it's a good like slasher,
There's-
scary movie.
What
I
is
don't-
this called?
it's called See No Evil.
See
See
No
No
Evil.
Evil. Hold on.
oh
I gotta
yeah,
read this.
I'd want to see that. but
There's a scene where
Something
they
happened?
like kill him, and he's like hanging on the side of a window, and there's these bars that are turned out like spikes, and he puts his arm over to climb the window, and his arm gets stuck on the bar. And the whole time he's just like hanging by his like wrist that has
Ooh.
been impaled.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then they like he finally leaves go, and as he's falling down, he just looks like a CGI'd Vin Diesel because
Yeah.
they couldn't
love
get
Vin
his body
Diesel.
proportions right. So
Oh.
he like falls, and then there's
Good.
like a close up scene to the ground, and there's like glass on the ground that he like impales his eye with or something like that. And you watch the eye get impaled, but it's not like
Ah.
a real fake eye. It's like a CGI eye.
Yeah.
Eye.
A CGI eye.
Eye,
Glitch in the
eye, eye.
Matrix. I'm broken.
No, I actually enjoyed that.
It's a
in
good
that movie.
film. Yeah, it's a good. I was fucking stuttering now.
Yeah, just all right. So like, I like Insidious. I think it's a good flick. I definitely wouldn't say it's one of my favorite of all times.
Yeah.
The premise is cool to a point, but then there's like to me there's a lot of loopholes as well. Like the mother is the biggest villain in the movie because she knew way more than she was supposed to, and like her fucking family's getting tortured and
Yeah.
every time.
You mean the grandmother?
Yeah.
the grandmother?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the grandmother.
And
yeah.
then it's kind of like the Samhain movie where every time the
Listen, they didn't kill anybody with marshmallows.
no, but every time the grandmother shows up, she's like, "I have more secrets to tell you."
That's a lot. Dude,
But you know what? They showed her face when she said it, so that's
Yeah.
That's
plus.
a-
She
that's
looked in pain.
it's a lot like the movie Lights Out, where like
see
the
that
mom
one.
knows everything that's happening. It's not.
That was
It's
a cool
not a
movie.
bad movie.
was a
Like
cool
I don't
movie.
think Lights Out is a bad movie, but like the
I-
mom knows everything the whole time.
I-
She doesn't say shit to her kids.
Yeah,
and then,
growing
like,
I was
up-
bad
afraid
shit
of.
just
I was
happen.
afraid of upsetting you.
all growing up, going to horror movies every single weekend with my friends all through high school, through 2000 through 2005 and on. Every time we've seen a PG-13 horror movie, you can walk in and almost guarantee you're seeing the same exact movie.
Hmm.
And when I see PG-13 movies, it's like they're cookie cutter jump scare movies. That's just that's my disconnect with it. So when I see like the Insidious and Conjuring, I'm just like, they just rely, like even La Llorona, it was decent, but they just rely too much on that jump
Yo,
scare.
La Llorona was only jump scares. I don't know what you're
Mhm. It
talking
it was
about.
only jump
There
scares.
was no build up for like emotional attachment
And
to
then-
these children. It's
Well,
just
and
Aw.
then the thing as well is like in Insidious is sometimes when you see your villain, it's your downfall as well. So the
Yeah.
whole time you're waiting to see this thing, and they show the creepy shadow in the corner, and it has the long arms, and you're like, that's fucking creepy.
Mhm.
And then you see it, and you're like, that's fucking stupid.
See, I thought it was interesting. I just thought it was interesting from just not like I wasn't afraid of it, but I
Yeah.
thought from like now I mean it does look a lot like Darth Maul, but I thought
It
from like
does.
the design, like the design aspect of it when it was
It was
just
Darth
like
Maul with hoofs.
yeah,
Yes.
but
I
like
think
it
it
like
fit Tiny Tim.
yeah
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
the little boy.
No,
the
the
song.
artist who did the song for the
Oh.
villain.
Mhm.
I think the scariest character in the movie. I mean, some of the stuff in the further world was kind of creepy when the
So
family was like
creepy.
the suicide and they
Oh,
were
I
like
love them.
killing each other, and that
Mhm.
was kind of creepy.
They're
The
like
Which
guy,
is-
the guy who like comes in and fucking attacks her through the bedroom
Yep.
window, just like a dude with Halloween makeup on. That looked kind of corny.
Do they explain the purpose of Insidious? Like, do
Yeah,
they
so we'll get there in a
explain-
second. But
okay,
then,
sorry.
then
Okay.
the old woman was, I think, the scariest of all of them.
very creepy.
Which one?
The old woman that was a guy,
Oh,
the one that was every
you
time
mean
he would
the
take
dead
a photo.
one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the
Yeah.
premise of this is this woman, with the spoiler if you haven't seen it, this kid goes into a coma and they don't know what happened. He's going to wake him up one day. Well, he goes and he gets scared by something in his attic, and then he goes to bed and wakes up.
He falls off
Oh,
a ladder.
Yeah, he falls
Yeah.
off a
That's
ladder.
very important to know.
Yes.
Yeah, so their kid gets a concussion, and they say, just go to bed. And they put him to bed, and he doesn't wake up, right? But it was from this astral projecting, and he gets stuck, and his astral body gets kidnapped by a demon,
hmm
and then all of the spirit realm is trying to then find his body so they can then take it over. But the entire movie, there's a bunch of ghosts there, so they found the fucking body, right?
They just couldn't get in.
And then the demon takes over his body, but then doesn't take over his body. And then he, like, so things have been taking over his body this whole movie. So when he's asleep, his brother's like, I don't like when he gets up and walks around. So things are taking over his body, but the whole time they're like preventing from his body being taken over. So that was a big flaw for me.
So what if it's? I don't know if this is more just a theory of it. That the fact that he's still around,
That's what,
allows them to not be in it forever.
Maybe.
that's what it is, and
Maybe.
that's what
That makes a lot of sense.
that's what the older lady, Elaine, is it, explains.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think her
The medium.
Yeah, the medium. She
Mhm.
explains that he's still around, so he's not technically disconnected from his body yet, so that they can permanently possess it.
Yeah.
Do they show any like film? Like, do they show any scenes where it's like the astro world?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and,
the
lower
and
astral.
it's like the ghosts are fighting each other to get to his body, because
Kinda.
that'd be cool.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
a
So
little
Sounds
bit.
cool.
So what happens is then the father ends up finding out through his mother that the reason his mother knows this creepy psychic lady and her team that they can come in and help out is because he suffered from this when he was a child, and they did hypnosis on him to not remember, but also the thing that was trying to come after him would come after him when he would get his photos taken. So every time he had his photo taken, this being would get closer and closer and closer and closer. So he's always been like, they hypnotized him to never let himself get a photo taken, and they thought if they just hypnotized him to forget everything, he would never, it wouldn't, the cycle couldn't repeat. But then he gave it to his child. His child has his gift, so then
Oh,
he has
shit.
to go in to the further to go and find his child and rescue him. But so while he's in the further, all of these demons are now coming after him because he's out of his body, and now there's an opportunity to kill him in the nether, then to take over his body in the permanent world. And then this ghost that's been following him his whole life is now chasing him in the nether, but he has to save his son from a demon. And so it's a
Mhm.
lot going on.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of ghosts happening.
I do find it very interesting that the parents never looked at his art.
Yeah.
Until that one
Yes, they
moment,
just
like
ignored
Yeah,
it.
until,
he
like, he's in-
writes in the thing, he's like, "Last night I watched myself sleep, and then I flew away." Like if
Yeah.
I saw a kid, like obviously it could have been a dream, but like
Mhm.
it's definitely something to question.
Yeah.
Look into
It
yeah.
well, like once again, every PG-13 horror movie is everything happens right in plain sight, and they're just like, "Ah, just the wind," and they just like, and then it just gets extreme, and they're like, "Oh, this whole time."
Yeah,
Like,
and then like dad's like was like, "You got it, buddy. You can come."
That
back."
honestly,
turns around,
that-
finally just sees all the black scribbles all over the wall, just like, I had no idea.
That
Yeah.
kind of scares me though. Like the quote is, "I watched myself sleep and flew away."
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep, that's
That's
exactly
how I-
what it
that's
says.
how I think that-
Actually,
You
word
mean
for
it's-
word.
You mean to tell me my nightmares where like that type of stuff happens are not good for me?
No, and that's the thing. This is
Better
like
take
crossing over into TBI territory or anything.
Oh,
But like
okay.
you cannot lose your astral body from your physical
Right.
body. You cannot do it. They're one and the same.
So
You
I should
can't-
not be afraid
You
of the
can't get lost.
monsters.
No.
in
That's a
my
good thing
in
to
my
know.
dream.
Darth Maul's gonna
I
take
mean,
over
there
your
is a
body.
thing. I will say something just from like the spiritual aspect, being like the lower astral plane and how it was portrayed in the movie. I almost want to say like somebody knew or somebody did astral project, because the lower astral plane, from what I've seen of it, it's pretty good.
Yeah, when he travels,
There's all those
it's
creepy things.
it's
Mm.
literally
Oh, God.
And how it literally looks like the upside down.
Oh, it does look
yeah,
like the upside
it's
down.
literally like the way they described it in the movie, or what's the word I'm trying to look for here?
Depicted?
Depicted. Thank you.
Depicted.
It's literally their house, but
Yep.
it's all gray
It's just another dimension,
So, lower.
kind of like Silent Hill.
and like
Oh.
it's dark, and there's
Yeah.
like it's like the upside down, where it's literally the world you're in now, just
Slightly altered.
with no
And then
with
the
no-
upside down is
with,
also another depiction of the lower astral
with
realm.
no power. Like there's
Hmm.
no one has lights turned on in this realm.
Oh, so that's
Because
really
there's the higher
interesting.
astral realm and the lower astral realm. The higher astral realm is where a bunch of like really good, like benevolent beings are, and like the lower astral realm is where more of just like the energetic.
So you have to
vampires
like
are, so-
build. You have
Oh.
to build up to the higher part.
No, you can already get there.
Oh.
It's just
Gotta level up.
Oh.
It is what it is.
yeah.
It just is what it is.
So the
Um,
lower, I just want to
yeah.
ask, the lower astral plane is always like an alternate version of whatever's currently around
Mhm.
you.
And so is the higher astral realm. It's just a matter of dimension and density. The
Very
lower
cool.
lower it is, the yuckier it is.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I always found this stuff interesting.
Thomas Wayne lives in the nether realm.
Thomas Wayne. Oh, from Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever watch when Batman finds his other realm, when he goes to the other Earth?
You know, I don't think I did. I
And
don't think I
Tom-
saw that.
and
I love
and,
Batman.
And in that
I must have
realm,
missed it.
all the villains are heroes, and the heroes are villains. And Thomas
Oh.
Wayne becomes Batman
We're talking
because
Flashpoint now.
yeah, well that's
Oh.
that's kind of another
I-
realm or dimension.
I did not see Flashpoint in the Arrowverse yet. I'm really far behind. I have to catch up.
Well, no,
No, no, no. Like
There's
the cartoon.
there's a cartoon that's
Yeah,
based off
or
the comic
Flashpoint.
called Flashpoint.
I didn't
and
see
in
that either.
in that realm, Bruce Wayne gets shot in the alley,
Oh my
and
gosh.
Thomas Wayne goes crazy because his son was killed. So he
Mhm.
becomes Batman, but
with a
he's
gun.
but he
so
he
bad.
kills people.
Oh, does he?
And
oh, that's so
Martha, while
interesting.
she's laying there holding dead Bruce, she has his blood all over her, and she just is crying, and then she starts laughing,
She becomes
and she
the-
Joker.
she puts her hand
Mhm.
over her face, and then when she moves her hand, she has the red smile of Bruce's blood.
But she's
So-
a good guy though, right? Or is
Well,
she?
so in this realm, Martha becomes the Joker, and Thomas becomes Batman.
Wow,
It's a
isn't
cool.
that
It's a cool little
interesting?
alternate. Yeah, the upside down of Batman. Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to check that out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Trying to think what else in the movie here that kind of
So the guy
the
goes
dad.
after his son
yes.
into this weird dimension. Do you see
further.
like the further?
Yeah.
Do you watch anything from the son's perspective while he's
The
experiencing
son is pretty
this?
much chained by his ankle to a pipe or something.
So you don't ever see what the fucking kid sees.
No.
No.
No,
So
it
you
was already
never-
a
you
dream.
never-
The
Interesting.
second you finally get a taste of what the son might have seen is when you follow the dad that goes into it, and
And
when he goes to find his son's astral body.
Would it not be scarier to like be from a kid's perspective? Like
agree.
I think if the movie
Yeah,
would have been
but
better if it was.
He
that way.
has.
Yeah, I would have
So-
liked that.
They say something in the movie about how because he's a kid, he doesn't think it's real. He thinks it's all
Right.
dreams and stuff.
He,
So-
thinks, he thinks he's having nightmares.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like a fear of that sense, but now if you have it as the dad, you have the
Right.
fear of losing your son
Mhm.
who has been in a coma for 6 months.
who doesn't know that it's
Who
yeah.
right? Who
Who he knows is alive and he has to find him.
right?
I would have left that kid behind.
I
Simple as that.
mean, like,
I think
I'd
it's
have,
interesting.
I would have been like, wait, my
Seeing all
kid's
that stuff.
aware, and I would have went in and be like, wake me the fuck
Mhm.
I
up.
wanna. I'll just. You know what? We'll
and
get
then
a
the
second
baby,
one.
then the
We'll
baby over the
advise.
So they're in the beginning. They have 3 kids, and the
They do.
baby, she's upstairs in her bed sleeping, and over the baby monitor's like, I want the kid now, and I've been like, all
See,
yours.
I thought that was pretty spooky the first time I
That
saw it because
is.
she's down. Because what is her profession? She writes music,
She does. Yep.
She's-
She's a pianist.
a pianist, and like she writes songs. So she's down there in like this old Victorian home,
Mm-hmm.
and she and she's there and she's writing music, and then like she hears like the baby monitor, and like you just hear the static and whatnot, and then you literally get just like, I want the baby, I want the baby,
So
that was
evil.
yeah.
Probably.
See, things that come over like radios and like baby monitors, like,
There
that
are
freak me
definite
out.
creepy moments. Like so obviously,
Mhm.
but the problem with this movie as well is if you watched it when it was coming out, it was a typical PG-13 trailer as well, where most of the scary shit was shown in the
In
trailer.
the trailer, yeah.
That part is true, but
it
I
seems
enjoyed it.
it seems like the horror, the scare tactic they use is inconsistent from like what y'all are saying. It's like an inconsistent scare. It's like they bank on the jump scares,
Well,
but like
they
the jump
hit-
scares don't ramp up. It's like they hit you hard.
They hit you so many times with jump scares that I believe by the time you're in the nether realm, you're creeped out, but it's not scaring you.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I think there's like maybe one moment in the net like in the further where you're like, oh shit, but once again it's also a jump scare when he turns and the woman's there, the girl with the weird
With a
smile. But like when he's in the room and it's kind of like the best way to describe it is when he's in the further, it's almost like walking through a haunted house, and you're freaked out. But as long as everything kind of stays in its place, you're cool.
Sounds
Mhm.
like a hospital. to
Yeah.
me.
And
Like,
then-
I
and then-
just,
I
like,
think
then-
the only
like,
the
walking
only
through
the only scare that wasn't a jump scare is when the medium is recanting what she saw, and when she saw the black figure in the corner just like slowly reaching up and
Oh, yeah,
pointing
yeah,
at
yeah.
the boy, which I thought that gave me like major Nosferatu vibes, so I kind of
Yeah.
like that.
I loved her headgear that she did to
Yes.
like
Yeah, that was
talk to the other
so
side and
neat.
stuff. It was so cool.
Like the
that
gas
scene.
mask.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was so
like-
extra, but I mean, it was
It's a
so
lot.
Right.
cool.
There's a lot going on.
It was so cool.
And I love the fact that like anything that she said was all drawn out and
Mhm.
like written out and all that stuff in that
Well, you
book.
know why
It
they?
was just-
I think the reason they did that in the premise is when she puts on that mask, it's almost like a deprivation chamber.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then when
She's like basically channeling.
and then what she's doing is through the pipe. It's kind of like
Smoking a lot
it's
of
kind of like
weed.
a tin can theory, where he's listening in the headphones. So he's now in a deprivation tank, but he can see what's going on. But the only thing he
Oh.
can hear is what she's whispering through that
Right.
pipe. So nobody else in the room can know what's going on. And she's like, "I see the boy. He's over here." and he's just like quick writing it down
Yeah.
and going through it.
Have you ever done that? The self-deprivation tank?
I want to so bad.
I've done it.
Is
It's
it
so good. And I've done like another thing. Well, this is just
There's
going
one in
off on this end.
Bloomsburg.
I've done the tank, and I've also done. My mom and I will literally like we'll blindfold ourselves and like just listen to static, and then like she'll ask questions that I can't hear, and I'll just like write things down or say things, and it'll get answers for it. Super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do an actual like deprivation tank where you sit in like the egg of water
Mm-hmm.
and float.
The egg of water.
So
Yeah.
the deprivation tank is you go into this egg and it's filled with water and it has Epsom salts in it,
Mhm.
and you can go in with swimming suit or naked. And when you go into this chamber, you close it behind you, so you're complete darkness.
Mhm.
And then you lay in this like body temperature water, and you just float in the water. So no matter what you do, you will never sink because the salt
The salt.
is so strong that it keeps you floating. And it turns off. There's no sound in this pod. There's no light. There's no nothing. So it shuts off every single one of your senses.
So then it's
And
just
then-
third eye.
And then you just meditate and kind of get this. Some people go in there and hallucinate.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, depending on where you let your mind go,
Mhm.
you can have a very peaceful experience, or you could freak the fuck out.
Mhm.
Damn.
Sounds interesting.
But
Yeah.
that's the thing, though. It's not hallucinating. It's just the images coming from
yeah.
the third eye.
I heard. I had a
Meditation.
woman. I know someone who did it. Not a woman, but I know someone who did it, and she, I guess started. It's kind of like tripping.
Mhm.
And she had a bad trip, and the entire time she had to open the pod door and let light in because the entire time she felt like spiders were in there with her.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was her experience. Like spiders were everywhere.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I would not like
But they have
that.
deprivation tanks in Bloomsburg. I would love to
I
try
would
it.
give it a
Interesting.
whirl.
Let's do it for TBI.
I don't think they're. I think they're. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not super expensive
It's
either.
not bad. I
It's
think
like
one that I
s-
saw was like $75 for an hour.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I like to imagine that you go in and your experience, like you just come out and you're like, great, now I'm all fucking wet. Like, you're just like nothing happens and you're just like,
Some people fall asleep.
nice.
I could see myself falling asleep in all honesty.
I heard it's very good for joint pain and stuff.
Oh.
Oh, because
Pretty
you're
good.
not like, you're not.
Oh, you're literally
just-
soaking in
you're just
Epsom salts.
not
and
doing
You're
it.
like
soaking.
that
You're literally
weightless.
in Epsom salts, and you're body is not exerting any energy to
Mhm.
be there. So like
You're not putting any force sitting down or laying down.
exactly.
Or,
So every like just kind of like behind the curtain a
You're
little bit with
literally
me.
weightless.
When I'm sitting here after so long, my muscles overwork to hold me in place here, and because of my disorder, my lower back will start bothering me. Or you'll see under the table like kick somebody, usually the person sitting there, because I'm trying to crack my knees or move my
Yeah.
knees or even standing or sleeping. I don't get a very good night's sleep because I'll be laying there and just the pressure of your body laying down, or if I lay on my side, everything's twisted and then your muscles hold it and then let loose, and then I wake up with my back thrown out or a dislocated shoulder or something like that.
Mhm.
It's a fucking nightmare. Yeah.
Is that
Just-
your movie premise that you want to write?
Yeah.
Like a person
Yeah.
with it. Oh, my
We'll
God.
call it Old Man.
And it,
Oh.
it
The
ends
old
where he
man.
just Kurt Cobain's himself.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez. Oh, my God.
Dark Tony's here.
Insidious. It's inside of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else with now? We're not now. Obviously, this led what 4 other movies or 3 other movies.
3 other movies. There's 4 in total.
I will say this: I have to remember the premise of Insidious because there was another Insidious that I liked a lot more than the first one.
I really like the key one, which is I
I
think,
think
the
that
newest
was
one.
the key one. Is the one with the smoke where the monster was all about or the ghost was all about smoke, and it just beat the shit out of the girl the whole time.
Oh,
I don't recall. So the second one is a continuation of the first one because we didn't really get to this point yet. But the dad actually gets possessed by that
That's what
ghost
it
that
is, yeah.
followed
Yeah,
him
at the
around
end.
the entire movie.
Yeah, I did not like
It was
that
the
one.
old woman.
Yeah, the old woman.
Insidious 3 is what I'm talking about. A prequel set of The Haunting of the Lambert family reveals how a gifted psychic is reluctantly agrees to use her ability to contact the dead in order to help a teenage girl who has been targeted by a dangerous supernatural entity.
Yes,
And this supernatural entity kicks the shit out of
that's
this girl.
right. Yeah,
He
And-
beats the fuck out of her. Like
wow.
I think she gets hit by a bus.
she
my
does.
Then he
yeah,
throws her out a window.
What
Like,
Yeah.
the fuck?
It's
very
fucked up. Malicious. Malevolent. Yes.
Malevolent is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Once it got away from the family and it focused on so Insidious kind of started doing what Conjuring did. So the Conjuring followed around the Warrens. Insidious
Yes.
kind of started following around the old woman who helped the family recover from this
Mhm.
situation. So Insidious
And the-
3 was a prequel of that woman helping somebody else.
Yes.
And then the last key was
It
also
was about
her
her childhood. and stuff.
Of her childhood.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind
So
of
it was
going back to her childhood home and
yes.
stuff.
And about that old lady ghost.
Yeah.
I remember it really focused on the old lady
Yeah,
ghost,
so
which was really interesting.
I personally enjoyed Last Key in Part 3, and I wasn't really into Insidious 1 or 2.
I like them
I thought they
all.
were a good launching point, but I thought the other ones were better.
I like them all. I really like the ghosts in the Further. I think they're very interesting,
Yeah.
and I felt that they really pulled me in. But I like ghosts, so and I find that they're very interesting, and that really
I was-
that creepy ghost family is really
Yeah, I
neat.
was almost wishing that more of the movie had to do about that.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
and I would have been more interested in seeing like more of like the other entities'
yeah.
stories than being like
Just from what you guys are
Mhm.
talking about, like that's what.
So if
seems-
you
yeah, that's
if
the
you
most
went
interesting
to
part, and it's only like a half hour.
if you went to Universal Studios, they did their horror walks. So I would love one Halloween to go to Universal Studios and
Mhm.
do all their horror walks because
That
they
would
have
be
a lot
fun.
that are based on movies.
They do the
They-
killer clowns. from
They
outer
did, which
space.
They
was
did.
actually what
Mhm.
yeah, this
Sure,
was last
yeah, that's
year's.
why I was
Yeah,
like, yeah,
and they
that's
would
sick.
like you were literally immersed in the movie room. So when you
Mhm.
did the Insidious one, you walked through the nether, like the
That's
further.
cool.
I keep calling it the nether, but the
That's
further.
okay. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
The Nether
all
is in
the
a
same.
different movie, but the same thing. Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
the names have
Forget
changed.
what.
It's
Mm.
Beetlejuice.
If you guys watch this movie, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your take on Insidious? Were you a fan of the other Insidiouses? What is your
Insidious.
thoughts on the Insidious movie franchise? I personally, if I had to pick, I mean the Conjurings tell a cool story, but I just don't buy into the Warrens at all.
You
I
don't
think-
find them to be.
I think
like,
they're con artists.
Oh,
I think they
interesting.
I think they lock in and I think they make money off people's
Well,
misery.
isn't
and
isn't
Aw.
that like a delved like most horror films are like, oh, look at the murderers, but like then it like goes into like the people that they're after are usually like not great people anyway, and you
Well,
tend to like.
the Conjuring movies are based on real people and
Mhm.
real stories.
Oh, so you
So
mean
the
that
Warren-
these?
the
Especially
Warrens-
because Lorraine Warren like worked with Ghost Adventures a lot.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Which
yeah.
is what Ghost Facers basically makes fun of. My shirt that I wore yesterday.
Yeah.
And
So-
Supernatural. That's
so
what they make
Lorraine
fun of.
Lorraine Warren went in and did a whole thing on the Amityville house after the family left, and there's rumors that possibly she worked with the guy who then escaped later with his family, and then they wrote the books together. Not the family who killed everybody. The next family who moved in, who said they
Mm.
had all their occurrences, were the movies and
Mhm.
the books, and
Like they overdid
and
it.
the Warrens were the first people in there and investigated, and they said they found all this stuff, and
Yeah,
it
that's
just
not
seemed kind of sketchy. And then actually in one of their movies, they kind of talk about how they got called out because something legit happened, where they went on a location in England, and while they were there, the news was staking the house out behind it and caught them faking it.
Oh, I
And then
didn't
in
know
the
that.
movie, they try to go back and say that, oh, she was possessed and it was the girl doing it. And so the whole time they were doing it, they're like, this child was acting out, but they were saying she was possessed by a ghost. So the news literally sat outside and had a camera on the kitchen window.
Kid's just like, I want candy.
And the kid literally went in the kitchen and destroyed everything. And then the
Oh my
Warrens
God.
then brought the news in and said this all happened because of a ghost. And the news is like, no, it didn't. Here's the footage of her going in the kitchen, smashing everything. And then the news dipped. And then the movie continues where the girl, she did do that, but the reason she did it is because she was the one possessed.
Yeah, how about it?
Yeah, so they've been kind of called out a couple times and couldn't really. The Conjuring movies, fun thing, is they were pretty much sued and said, you can't make any more movies unless you can prove to us that anything you put in the movie is real.
Really?
Because they were saying based on true events.
Wasn't the first one supposed to be based on a
They were all
house in
they were all
PA or
they were
something?
not in PA.
No?
Oh yeah, no, not.
But
There
they-
there is a house that they did go to that was in PA, and it's actually close to us, and I don't remember exactly where it is. I'd have to go and do the research. But the next one they're doing, the next movie, is funny that it's coming out when it's coming out because the biggest attraction right now in the Ghost Adventures at a museum is the Devil's Rocking Chair.
Oh, yes.
And that Devil's Rocking Chair is based on an exorcism that took place that the
Mhm.
Warrens went in and saved the day with their amazing powers of God.
Damn.
And that chair then somehow made it to this museum, and that's now they're making the movie to then send people to the museum so they can make money.
Yeah.
And this
Wow.
is the museum up in like Connecticut.
No, this is the museum. This chair made it to the museum in Vegas.
Oh, this is in Vegas.
That
okay.
Zach
The
Bagans.
Zach
from
Bagans
Ghost-
Ghost Adventures Museum.
Oh,
The
okay.
replica
Mhm.
chairs in Connecticut.
Yeah. No, the museum in Connecticut looks like a bad Halloween shop.
But
I
it's
love
all real
that.
shit.
Sure.
Well, I had some friends who went there a couple times. Yeah, I told you about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's literally
Uh.
like someone had a possessed fucking coaster, and they have a coaster sitting there with a
They
skull
do.
on it, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Signed by the ghost.
and they're like, this coaster had malevolent beings attached to it,
Yeah.
and now we went to that house and we saved the day.
See, what worries
And we brought this coaster to our garage, and now we're
Pay
everyone's
me
safe.
$50.
Now
so
pay
you
me,
can
and I'll
come
let you
see
in.
it.
But when you come in, don't touch anything, or
Wouldn't
you
that-
will die.
Wouldn't that
And they're
be
like,
like,
"Oh,
I
my
think it's
God."
just Annabelle you're not supposed to touch.
They're not supposed to touch any of
Yeah, you're
Oh,
like
okay.
But
haunted objects. you're not
Annabelle's
supposed to
the
touch.
main
Oh.
attribute.
Right.
So if you
I'm not
really,
touching Annabelle.
here's my thing: if you literally
Oh,
went
yeah,
through
right now.
all these experiences and seen these demons and really
Mhm.
malevolent things, and people were hurt and thrown across rooms and destroyed and horrified, right?
Mhm.
Would you take that item and put it on a shelf that some schmuck can walk in and touch it? And if that's that dangerous,
that
Yes.
killed 50 people.
if you were
I
that,
would own it for
if-
sure.
what I'm saying is, if you took these items away from the public, so then you can save the public.
Yeah.
Why, if you had any respect for what you did,
Why would you
or
charge
if you
the
had
public
any
to let
respect
them come in and see it?
and possibly get harmed?
Yeah, how are the...
Because
So-
it gets
how-
makes a better story.
Wait, is...
Okay, so I
Because
can
they're
answer
because
that
they're
question.
money
Yeah.
hungry and they're not real.
Yeah.
Does the case
Yeah.
the things are in, does it stop the spirits from
No.
doing things?
No, the only thing in the
Then
case
why?
the only thing in the case in that
Oh, it's
entire
not
thing
in the
is
case?
is the doll Annabelle.
Oh, so did the ghost like fall out at some point when they were taking it
And
to
now,
the
like, the
building?
thing is, like, they,
the
they
Who
have,
knows?
they
spirits
have
just
these
gone?
haunted objects, like, in cases. And so it's like,
Mhm.
even, it's one of those things where it's like, you can't, even if it is, like, like
It's
a
worded.
malevolent, like, spirit is
Yeah.
attached to it. There's no amount of, like, holy water or, like, salt that you can bless the thing that will, like, keep it in its box. Like, I just, it doesn't work like that.
I just saying, if you were that much respective and went through these insane stories, why would you let the public come in and possibly get harmed?
experience that. Yeah.
Unless you were trying to make money and trying to, because people like to go to things that scare them.
Mhm.
So if they go in there, they make money. Obviously, not knocking your hustle, but it does ruin the credibility of the paranormal and the supernatural world because you seem phony.
Yeah, and then the spirits are gonna be like, "Well, you're making money off of me existing, so I'm just gonna move on to something else."
Yeah.
Well, actually, that brings me back to the cleansing hour, because the demon doesn't like that shit. And if you watch the movie, you'll understand why. Because he does not like that the whole thing's a hoax. Because they're actually in the movie selling like blessed cloths and stuff, and he wants them to suffer and like confess all their sins and all that kind of stuff. So
Interesting.
it's definitely
Yeah.
within this realm of
That's that point that I was trying to make, though. It's like it always seems like the evil entity is just trying to put across this like fact that like, no, you're actually the real evil here.
And it's funny
You're
too, 'cause
doing
a
the
lot
bad
of
things.
like that we're talking about with social media and blocking stuff. There was a lot of stuff that was on the internet of the Warrens being called out and being considered fake and phony, and like someone made up. I think there was one where situation where someone said like, "Oh, we called the Warrens because this house is super haunted," and this house had no experience of being haunted, and they came in and spun this story like it was the most haunted house they've ever been in.
Oh man.
And then the people were like it was set up by
Ah.
media to see if they would come in and legit see if this place was haunted, and they knew nothing was wrong with this house, and they came in and gave this whole backstory how this man was buried here or this man died in the basement, and they made this whole, because she's a medium and she sees all this, she gave this whole backstory and how all these crazy things are happening, and then all of a sudden they have videos of cabinets opening and closing and all this stuff, and the people are like, none of this happened until you showed up.
Yeah.
But if you go look, and then when the movie started hitting, all of that stuff on the internet was then taken down because the movies started getting popular. So the movie companies who are trying to put these out as legit things started censoring and blocking everything on the internet that proved them to be phony.
And if you have enough money, you can do whatever the hell you
Yeah.
want.
That's
James
true.
Wan.
So that's why if I had to choose like a ghost series, I think the Insidious is cooler than the Conjuring, because
Yes.
I think the Conjuring is just, I think that's
It's just all
You have, like,
to
a
make
vendetta
money.
against them.
not a
Yes,
vendetta,
you
not a
definitely
vendetta.
do.
I
Personal.
can buy into a psychic. I can buy into a medium. I can buy into someone who says they can reach into the afterworld. But I also think there are people who are complete bullshit artists.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
think when people cash in on misery and cash in on spirituality and things that scare people, I think
That's
you're
that's
for
your bad
money.
karma,
I
man.
think you're a piece of shit.
Mhm.
It's just me.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm just gonna say I'm actually pretty neutral on them. I don't feel one way or the other. I do find their movies to be interesting, but I definitely, as I said earlier, am more definitely all about Insidious. I only watched Conjuring 1, 2, and I think I have to watch Annabelle next. I didn't get to Annabelle.
Well, Annabelle isn't part of the Insidious series.
Oh, they aren't. No, I'm talking about Conjuring.
Oh, Conjuring, yeah.
Yes,
So
like
Conjuring has
1,
the
2, Annabelle, and
and
then
the
the
Nun.
Nun. So I have to watch Annabelle and Nun, and then get caught up for this rocking chair. But I had some friends who
The Devil Made Me Do It's gonna be called.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
what it's gonna be called. Yeah, I had some friends that went up to that museum several times actually, and they had actually positive things to say about it, except for the things I shared with you guys off camera because it's not my stories to share, so I'm not gonna share.
Yeah.
So I would like to go and like check it out. My understanding is they move around the museum all the time because they have like neighbors that will call and report them. Because they think they're evil and like the devil's work and they shouldn't be pulling people in. So they're always getting reported, not because they're phonies or anything like that. And they only let small groups in. You could check things out. You can't touch anything. I thought it was just Annabelle, but I do actually remember them saying you can't touch anything. They're supposed to be like warded and things into whatever they're in for people's protection. It does to me sound like, based on my friend's experience, that they have it worded for people's protection. They're trying to help and that they're looking out for people. But that is their experience. I have not had an experience. So, like I said, I'm actually quite
Yeah.
neutral on these
Mhm.
people. And I've done some reading on them, and it doesn't seem negative on my experience. I don't really have anything negative to say, and I'd like to check it out. And I kind of, like you were saying, that people like kind of have this stuff for like, because people like it and find it interesting.
if
so
I
I think
would own Annabelle.
If
yeah,
if I
I'm,
had a-
I'm kind of like
if I
with
had a,
Nicole
if
I
I
on
had
this.
a
I would go
nuclear
check it out.
reactor
I would go
and I
check it
knew
out.
that the radiation would harm people, I wouldn't sell tickets to go see it. So if
Sure.
you if
Would
you
I?
buy into the spirituality of that these things legit ruin people's lives for a period of time, that you had to come in and save these families, why the
I wouldn't
fuck?
turn it into a sideshow.
Why would you turn it into a traveling act? That, to me, that shows you have zero respect for what you do.
Yeah.
If
So-
somebody I knew was possessed by a demon and I physically seen them crawling on the fucking walls and doing all this crazy thing, first off, of course I'd be a devout Christian, right? But but I would then take those experiences and I would fucking make it like, or if I was someone who's going around collecting possessed artifacts, I would make sure they never seen the fucking light of day, or they were never around people so they couldn't harm people.
Yeah,
Right.
they're stored in a way that they can't harm people, and they're stored in a way that is like safe and that they're contained, so they can no longer harm people.
But if you watch
as well,
if you watch the Annabelle movie,
I didn't see it yet.
one of their stories is Annabelle gets out of her cage and goes after their daughter.
Oh yeah, that I did hear about
So,
that.
like,
That's not good, but
Which
It's a
one's
weird
that?
logic.
Huh?
Which one's that?
Annabelle beginning or something like that. When she's in her house and the babysitter is watching the daughter, and the daughter goes
Are we
in.
talking Conjuring or actual Annabelle?
One of the Annabelle
Annabelle.
movies,
and
It
and,
was
and
not
remember
creation.
too, that's a movie.
or it might have been Conjuring,
Ye-
Okay.
but the one of the Conjuring movies they show Annabelle in
Well-
the case or something.
Yeah, and remember too, like that's a movie, and then we're talking about real life too.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be based on real life, but then they take liberations with movies.
But they have said that they've had
Over-exaggerate.
experiences where these things then came into their home and they had to fight them off
Mhm.
again. Like,
Yes, but I will tell you,
bring 'em
based
in.
on
My
my
kid's
friends,
room's right there, and the
Yeah.
killer doll Annabelle is
Yeah,
right
right.
across the hall.
Yeah, so I
What's
see
wrong
what
with
you're
that?
saying.
What's
I
wrong?
see what you're saying, but my friends
If I,
who
had a,
act-
if I had a portal to hell and I legit
Put
believe,
it next to my child's
if I
bedroom.
had a portal to hell and a demonic item that
Mhm.
harmed people, and I truly, truly, truly believed in it, I would not have my kids near it.
Sure, but you still own it, right?
Sure, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
have it near my kids.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and I'm trying to tell you something, but you're not letting me finish. So
Yeah.
let me finish
Yeah.
here. Let me finish.
got it.
Okay. This is like by people who went up to see it.
Yeah.
They do have it stored so that it's technically not supposed to harm people. They cannot destroy it for whatever reason. I do not know why. I cannot explain that to you, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
They
But
need
let's
the sword of
also-
Gryffindor.
Let's also respect too that these people, maybe they can't destroy it for some reason because it is a spirit, and you can't destroy a spirit technically. Can you
What if
destroy
it
a
frees
spirit?
the spirit?
Whoa.
You know, if
Yeah.
you destroy it, it'll free the spirit, and then the spirit.
This is
goes
a
on to
future Harry
something
Potter
else, you know?
conversation.
But then if the
what if they're all
spirit-
Horcruxes?
what if the spirit also goes and you free
Could
it,
be
and then it
trapped.
goes
There
to
you
go
go.
continue to hurt people over and
There you
over and
go.
over and over and over and over and over? But if you can keep it contained, it doesn't hurt people. They believe
Yeah.
that they're containing it to keep people safe, and then they store it so that doesn't hurt people. That's my understanding of the people who has gone to this museum several times, and they
Yeah.
so they seem to be trying to help
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's just weird logic that you put it in a specific case and then it's just good. Like it's just good. Like it's just good to
I-
go.
Yeah, we just put some
Just letting
salt.
you
What if,
know,
like,
just letting
salt,
you know
holy
what-
water,
what-
and it's
What if you go there and like every time she's in a different pose and like one day she just like has her dress up and
Well,
you're
they
like, oh, there's ghosts flashing us today.
they did
This
that
is the
where
Annabelle
they
that we
put
have.
they put a static cam on her, and she
she's-
said that, and they've had times before where she escaped the box a couple times, and then they found the proper remedy to keep her in the box, and she hasn't moved since.
Wow.
Maybe that takes some time to find. Maybe it takes time to find
I
the
just
right
think
way
I
to
think a lot of
contain.
this. I just think
just
when
being real.
when a human or an actual person thinks that they have a grip on something that they
Yeah.
don't know, I just don't believe them.
I don't
Because
I don't know
no one
how-
understands the afterlife. No one understands how spirit works. No one understands how demons work.
Yeah.
I just don't buy into the movie mumbo jumbo where a demon possesses a coaster and now they're stuck in this until they're released by like.
No, Tony's gonna die later by the coaster.
I'm
I
just
can't-
saying.
I
so,
can't
so
say.
I just
You
I
contain them with
I
what you
can
contain
I
them
can
to.
buy
Yeah.
into it. I just don't buy into that
Stopping it.
that
yeah.
I just don't buy into that family. I
Yeah.
just think they're con artists, just like the
Uh,
guy from Ghost Adventures. I
don't
think
know.
he's phony baloney.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
definitely
saying.
believe in that. Zach
I don't
Bagans.
think that means
Fight me, Zach Bagans.
I just think that
Zach Bergens, who idolizes the Warrens, who now
Mhm.
has this chair, did an interview where he got the chair and he was begging a news report, telling the news reporter that this is harmful and you shouldn't play games with it and you shouldn't fuck around with it and you shouldn't make fun of it, but then begged him to touch the chair to see if he would have any experience. What?
why would you?
I don't
yeah.
think you should be touching that stuff.
Yeah.
No.
But this is a dude who does that for a living.
It's
Yeah.
like
He's a
it's-
fear monger.
it's
He's
like-
you know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is why I have my beliefs where I don't know if I believe 100% into this.
I think more people have to be skeptical in general. I feel like a lot of people kill skepticism by like just throwing out like I'm not saying that the
Yeah.
doll's not contained, but it's like you're throwing out your skepticism by saying like, oh, it's in
putting
this
your trust in
specific
somebody.
thing. Yeah, you have to, and then you give them your money.
I would
and
just
then
say
it's- I
if
don't
you
know.
look at the museum,
Yeah.
it from what I've seen, it literally looks like the spirit of Halloween threw up in there.
It's hard to judge by not
like
going
the
there, though,
skeleton
is
thing that
what
Heidi
I-
has in there. They have
Yeah.
like 3 of those hanging on the ceiling.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have like fake stuff too, like novelty stuff. But like
probably.
they probably have real items in
but-
there that they believe to be haunted.
But why
I'm
would
trying
you,
to play the neutral system
Yeah,
here
but
as
why
well
would
with you. like
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have any ties to these
Yeah.
people.
You
Yeah.
never.
Yeah,
And if,
I'm.
And
I've
also
never
too,
been
it's like
there.
with the movies.
haven't either.
I
My
doubt they're
friends
getting
were.
anything for it.
the Warrens?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Why?
I'm
They're-
pretty sure.
Other
well,
than their use of name.
Ed Warren has
Like
been.
an
It's
Ed
their,
Warren
it's their
has been passed
publishings-
along.
It's their publishings and books that are making these movies.
Ed Warren has been passed
That's
passed on, and I'm
the-
pretty sure Lorraine recently passed away.
Yes, but their kids get all this stuff now.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the kids don't deserve it. They didn't experience these ghosts.
They didn't do
Oh,
shit.
the Warrens,
And-
the Warrens Museum is permanently closed. I guess I don't know if it's
Probably because of COVID.
because of COVID. Because we wouldn't want the demon getting the sniffles.
Well, Annabelle.
Why?
Mhm.
They
No,
all
the-
ha-
the
they go
people
by
probably
small
come in.
groups. You're not allowed to touch
They do,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah, they
You probably
already
have to
have the
sanitize.
COVID laws in
Yeah,
place.
they've
yeah.
had it for
Did.
years. Why close?
You would have to call
The whole
and-
store, the whole museum is
Alright,
haunted now.
So this is just some of the items around Annabelle. So we have a
Yeah.
prop skeleton, a Halloween mask.
oh,
Right, there's something in that little case. Some spooky candles. That Halloween.
that looks
costume.
like a lamp.
And
Is that
then-
that's a
There she
lamp,
is.
dude?
There's
then
the
you have,
Raggedy
then you
Ann
have
doll.
possibly
Yeah.
do not
That's
touch.
Annabelle.
Right,
Yeah.
their books in case you want to
Yeah.
pick up a book by them.
In
Um,
case you-
A
like
portrait,
it
wedding
just looks like
portrait.
someone. It looks like a haunted house.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember too. It's a small family that's just like running it. And that's what I was gonna kind of point out too. If they really want to make out money, I'm sure it would probably be like fancier and like a big like Smithsonian like thing, and they just kind of run it out of their
Mhm.
house, So I kind of find
Just
that
some-
interesting
It's the
instead
most
of.
dangerous doll in the world.
that man looks dangerous.
So I
he
just
looks
kind
mysterious.
of want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I just concern. I don't know, just when people cash in on misery, it just concerns me.
Oh, I see that point.
How much
Yeah.
do they charge though? Because if they're
I don't
charging
know.
an obscene amount of money,
It's-
then that would make more sense that
probably
they're
like
not.
$30 or
It's not
$20.
that expensive.
It's like $10-20, I would say.
See, then that
pay a
sounds
quarter.
that sounds
Yeah,
like
a
Side
quarter.
show.
Yeah.
that
You bring a
sounds
bag of dog
like,
food.
That sounds like it could be a cash grab because you're just like, oh, you want to come see here? Give me $15 because I'll get like 100 people to give me $15.
Absolutely. I mean, people are probably
Yeah.
flooding to go see this museum, especially with the movies. That probably helped.
I mean, I'm not mad at them for trying to
I'm
make
not
money.
either. I'm
But
not either.
if you like you said, if you genuinely believe this shit can cause people harm, why would you give them that that chance? I mean, also if you're dumb enough to go there and be like believing in this harm, then it's your fault too.
So they
to
when
accept that.
obviously the stories you tell when you research Annabelle, right? So the
Mhm.
stories they've had told with this thing, right, is that people came in the museum and they looked at the doll and they mocked it and they made fun of it,
Ugh.
and then those people left
bad
and
idea.
died.
So then those people are
Bad
just
idea.
idiots.
So if you had a care in the world for human beings,
You know are gonna
you-
be
would you put people at risk or harm for their own safety that they know they're going to go in there and be a smartass?
To be fair, maybe they shouldn't do that.
And a lot of the stories where someone left and then died after they insulted Annabelle, they died like 3 weeks later in a car. It wasn't like they left immediately that night and keeled over and died.
And then at the scene of the crime, there's a piece of plastic.
Yeah, and a
But-
little note from, that
from
said,
Annabelle.
Don't
like,
fuck with
don't
me,
fuck
bitch."
with me.
Yeah, like
This is my turf.
like
This is my
a
turf.
very a supernatural show I enjoy is BuzzFeed Unsolved, because you have the guy who believes it all and then you have the guy who doesn't.
It's
And they-
literally us.
They went to the
Literally
they
so.
went to the Warrens Museum, and the guy who was a non-believer did everything he possibly could to antagonize that doll.
Shane Medej.
And spoiler alert, he's still alive and well.
I was gonna say, weren't you just telling me like when I told you the stories and you said, "Oh no, I don't believe them"? Weren't you just
I
telling
would
me-
lick Annabelle.
Yeah, you were just like, so I'm wondering like, why is this like you don't believe in this and stuff, and but you're getting so upset
I'm
about it. Yeah.
open-minded to it, right?
Yeah.
So I can buy the fact that we can go into a place and it's haunted. I just don't buy into the Warrens because I think they're con artists who are using the supernatural world and the realms and saying they had these experiences to make money and sell
Mhm.
tickets to have the hot item that everybody wants to come see. I just feel if you have that much respect of the spirit world and demons and the afterlife and malevolent beings, I don't think if you had that much respect and went through these horrible experiences and terrifying things that are now in box office movies that are scaring people, if that item had that much power and you sprinkle some salt around it, now I'm going to charge you $15 to come see it. I just think either I think you're full of shit, or you're that hungry for money that you don't care about people's safety.
So let me ask you this: what if it really did happen?
Mhm.
Annabelle exists and is real,
Yes,
but that's not the real Annabelle.
sure,
That's the hoax,
that could be it as well.
where all that stuff does exist,
Yeah.
but it's put somewhere else, and
So-
then they get replica versions
Yeah, so like
to
an,
be
That's-
like.
That's
ju-
also
an example.
possible,
So
yeah.
Also
we went to a
possible.
location recently where the people who own the building feel they feel it's haunted, and they say it's deemed safe for people. There's one spot that they don't trust because they've
Mhm.
had bad experiences.
Yes.
So you know what they do? They rope it
don't
off and
let
don't
people
let
in
people
there.
near it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel if you have that much respect of what you're doing, you wouldn't parade people in.
Knowing it's
Well,
unsafe.
that's why I'm wondering maybe it's a replica of these things, where it's like
Mhm.
they don't
That's a
have
good
to feel
point.
But are they-
concern of it, but you still get the fright.
Sure.
But
of,
are they
oh,
point.
I'm
Right.
there.
Good point.
But then
Nikolai.
that
Are they
goes.
not
But then
telling?
it's just like. Then it's just like.
And you're selling fake tickets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm not saying that they're not doing that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
You
that
don't know.
That's
it's
a
just
great
like,
that's a great
For the
point.
pure
Good point.
preservation of the
Right.
spiritual
Yeah,
side.
that's a great point.
Mm.
I can buy into that, but then I think they should get in trouble for selling fake tickets.
Yeah.
It's false advertisement.
here's the
there's
thing,
a law.
too.
There's a law to that.
What if
I don't
they
know about spiritual things.
what if-
Sure, if you're selling a ticket and you're saying that this thing is on display and it's Eddie Van Halen's real guitar, and you make $10,000 off showing people that guitar, and then people found out it's not, they have grounds to sue you for that
Yeah.
because they gave
You
you
know-
their money to see something that doesn't exist.
You're right. I will agree with that because I believe Red Bull got sued at one point which is
Because
why.
Red Bull didn't give you
Yes,
wings.
because it doesn't actually
Yeah.
give you wings.
Shut
That-
Oh, I
that's why
remember that.
that's why they added three eyes
I remember
to
that.
it.
Yeah.
They added three
That's-
eyes, and
that's
people
why-
are like, "Oh, I'm not getting wings."
Yeah, that's why
Shit, sorry.
when you go to
I just
when you go to
need the
museums
table.
and you go to see things have to
Specifically
be
titled,
authorized. They have to have that certificate.
Authenticated,
They have to be
yeah.
authenticated because people can say I have a piece of toast that Jesus touched and,
and
That's
and
right.
make
He
millions
didn't
of dollars
sign
on
it.
people
Listen,
seeing it.
If I find out the Smithsonian doesn't really have the real Kermit the Frog, I'm gonna be so upset. I got a picture with it.
Oh yeah, I went to that.
You're entitled to
I
it.
went to that.
You
too.
should
That
look
was
at his
cute.
collar.
Yeah.
You should make sure it's the right collar. Did you guys ever see that Kermit has like 17 different
Yes.
collars?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I
actually-
noticed that.
Like,
The original was
colors,
made from
too.
his mom's coat.
Yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
cute.
So
Wow.
like just to kind of recap, like so when it comes to this, like I said, I want to believe, I want to have an experience, I want to think it's
Mulder.
legit, right?
I want to believe.
But
Yes.
I get very skeptical with people like the Warrens and the people from Ghost Hunters and stuff like that because I feel like they show zero respect for it. So then when you are trying to put out there for people who are believers that this is a thing, A, you look like you're a crazy person because you're believing in stuff like this, or two, you're giving your field a bad rep, and that's where I have a problem with certain people. Like, there's people out here every day that I have met. Like I had a conversation with a medium who refused to be on the show because they don't want to be outed as being a medium. I had people who I went and did readings, and they're very like, hey, I'll tell you what you need to know, but I'm not either going to charge you or it's going to be behind closed doors and stuff like that. Like when people are with their bullhorn, like I can talk to dead people. Like no, like if people are, and I don't want to use the word gullible because that's how I almost came to mind, but if people are that open minded to blindly follow that, that's concerning because you can be deceived.
Mhm.
And I think that's what like the Warrens can literally go into a house and tell you have the most haunted house in America, and then you can psychologically think you live in the most haunted house in America,
And then you're gonna experience
and then
whatever
and
you
experience
think.
things and
Yeah.
possibly harm your fucking family.
And it's all in your head at that point.
You know what I'm
because there's
saying?
nothing there.
Like and that's
why
kind
there need that healthy bit of skepticism is very important in
Mhm.
anything.
yeah, and that's kind of what happened in one of their movies where these kids were like, they said their mom was possessed and she was throwing them through doors and kicking the shit out of them because she was possessed. And then the Warrens came in and said she was possessed. No, she probably had a mental disorder and your mom was just fucking hurting you. But then these people who are just trying to make a buck off your family and don't give a fuck want to write a book on how your mom was possessed by a demon.
Mhm.
That's scary to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where you're not giving people actual help, you're just fear mongering.
And creating
For a
true
dollar.
stories.
And then you're gonna sell it to DreamWorks 10 years later and make a movie
And
off
make-
it.
DreamWorks.
Yeah, make fucking up
Isn't that who
again.
makes the Conjuring movies?
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Not DreamWorks.
Definitely not
no,
DreamWorks.
what's the other one that it's like a space thing when the movie
Universal Studios.
No. Is it
Lionsgate?
Lionsgate?
Lionsgate.
It kind of has like
yeah.
stars. And
It is
stuff.
did-
Lionsgate. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
sorry.
did Narnia, dude.
Who?
Lionsgate did Narnia.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
Lionsworks was Narnia was DreamWorks is a Disney production.
No.
DreamWorks is
What?
Narnia,
Pixar?
right?
No,
Narnia is a thing in Disney.
Pretty
It-
sure
it
that's
is a
Lionsgate.
Disney.
Yeah.
But I think
I think Lionsgate produced
I thought
it or some
DreamWorks,
shit.
Pixar, and something were all under the umbrella of Disney.
no. DreamWorks
are
is like a
separate.
Universal.
Oh, okay.
Dream,
title.
yeah. It's Pixar and Disney that are against each other,
Yes.
and it all stemmed from ants and bugs. Bugs Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But
I
Ants and
no,
remember
Bugs.
that.
Bugs Life is in Disney.
Bugs Life is
Bugs
Disney.
Life Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other one.
And Ants is
Pixar.
not.
I remember
Ants
that.
is DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. Yeah.
Both cute.
Yeah.
What the fuck? New Line Cinema. That's what it
Oh,
was.
okay.
Oh no.
Oh,
wow, we are
Lionsgate's
off.
the other. Yeah.
New Line Cinema.
Yeah.
And just to kind of, we'll wrap up here. Is the Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, is a paranormal investigation of Ed and Lorraine Warren tried to uncover the truth behind the murderer's claim of demonic possession. So, in this situation, if you want to actually read into it a little bit, and we'll get closer when a movie comes, and we'll watch it and go through all that stuff. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this person murdered somebody or killed somebody, and then claimed that they were possessed, and use that, and then the Warrens come in and save the fucking day and say, "Oh, well, it wasn't really him; it was a devil."
And then he roams the streets. A
Maybe.
murderer.
Yeah, I don't know the full story. I
And then
won't.
goes
I won't.
fisticuffs with
I
everyone
won't.
that he
I won't.
sees.
I won't say yes or no to that. Obviously,
And
we'll
he's
maybe we'll
like-
do research on that story alone and
and then he's
TBI. That could be the.
"I'm
We'll do a
possessed."
TBI before you watch the movie. Here's the story behind The Devil Made Me
Yeah.
Do It type deal.
Yeah.
I just like that theory of like I'm possessed, so I'm gonna just beat everybody up.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was possessed.
Oh man,
I
devil
think the
made
guy-
me do
I
it.
think- I think- I think- I
I
thi-
spilled this water all over you. I'm
I think
sorry.
the
I'm so
guy who
sorry.
killed his family in Amityville eventually got a. Is he didn't die in jail, did he?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Oh, is he out?
He might be. I don't know. I could be wrong. I have to look at that. I don't want to spread false. This is why we need fucking someone in the Google and be like, no, he's still in jail.
It looks weird if you're on your phone though. while
That's
you're
I
on
try
the
not to be on my
screen.
phone
Yeah,
during the show, but
exactly.
yeah. Bree, what do you have to plug?
Oh, my geeky fashion.
That's a cool bag.
Oh yeah. So, well, first I'll show the product. Okay. So today's product is
Looks like something my
Cool.
gram made.
It's so cute.
My
Yes.
gram's a beast at crochet.
it's really cute. I can't tell if it's there.
Yep,
if it's
you're good.
Yeah,
showing.
you can see it.
Yep.
Okay, so this right here is a cute little beanie with a cute little baby Yoda. It's by Love Your Melon. This is a company that makes beanies pretty much all year. They also make face masks. This is coming, of course, comes from the Star Wars line, the Mandalorian line. They have several different designs. And you'll buy, they're a little expensive, but you buy one, and then one goes to a kid who is suffering from cancer.
Mhm.
So
That's
this is
really
a great company, a wonderful company.
Yeah.
And you can get them with palms, which I love the palms, or without palms.
And it is important you say it is for pediatric cancer.
Yes.
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 Aw.
Sorry about that.
So if you
Oh,
buy
it's
a
okay.
beanie, buy beanies fight cancer. So I believe their money goes to cancer research, and then like Shashi was saying, if you buy a beanie, they give a beanie to a child.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're technically
That's very
buying two
sweet.
beanies.
You are.
Yeah.
So that's why they're so expensive, but
There-
totally worth it.
I believe
It's
there's a
great
company in
cause.
LA that
It's really
if you buy
sweet.
a pair of socks,
Mhm.
they give a pair of socks to a homeless person.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's sweet.
probably.
That's
yes.
really sweet. I love
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Goddamn socialism. How terrible is that?
And then they come in a nice little bag, and the ones that are licensed will have their license on.
It's like a fancy Ziploc bag.
It does, yeah.
I would
so-
buy that beanie and toss that bag right out.
Well,
It's a very nice bag though.
Yeah, I guess I do it so that they stay in like good condition. That's all.
So when you don't wear it, you put it back in the bag.
I do.
Oh my god,
That's how-
I fucking love Bray.
That's
Lo-
how
what's it-
organized I am.
Love
That's
your
really
melon,
sweet.
right?
Love Your Melon, yes. And I will have another licensed product from them in a few weeks. I have it
I'm gonna go to
already.
the shop real quick and see what. So they
Yes.
have Mandalorian face masks.
Yes.
They have black leather release bestsellers.
Did they just come out with Toy Story?
Yes, they did.
there-
Okay, because I was gonna say I thought I saw an ad for a Toy Story thing, and I was
Yeah, what
pretty
is
sure I
it?
walked.
There
Toy
is
Story
there is a
thing.
Disney line where you can
Yeah.
get Mickey
I
or
want a
Minnie.
Jessie one.
Yes, I want to get one of the Disney
They
ones.
have blankets.
Yes.
Aw.
They do, and for like so for when I was like I'd get one, but I don't want one with the fucking ball on top. But they do have ones that are just like regular beanies.
Mhm.
Yep, you don't have to get the palm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what other licenses they may have.
Just don't say the other license I told you I'm going to bring in.
Oh,
Your favorite license. Your favorite.
is it DC? I don't see it on the website.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I will say
Just
this right.
don't say it.
I will say
Says
this right
it.
now.
So is
It
it,
is not-
is it this one?
It's not easy to navigate their page.
Is
on-
it
on
something
mobile.
on this table somewhere?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Everything is.
I'm personally a fan of the slouchy beanies.
I love
Oh, yes.
slouchy
And they're
So
so
they-
warm, too. They are so warm.
Oh.
Very warm.
They
A
have, like,
variety of
cold
colors.
They
I'll
have.
look into
They're
'em.
not super. I mean, $40, but it's a knit.
Oh,
it's a
that's
knit
not-
beanie.
Yeah, it's really nicely.
They have a
nicely
Bo
done.
Peep. They have a Pizza Planet. They have a Mr.
It'd be different if it was
Bo
like a
Peep.
patch on the like a patch on the beanie, but the patch is like kind of shitty and like doesn't look anything like the character that you're getting, and they're like,
Right.
it's Star Wars.
Mr. Potato Head is sold out. You cannot. Oh, they have Marvel ones too.
Oh, they still do have the marbles.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they sold out of the marble.
Yeah,
well, I might be getting that
I'm
one, too.
seeing Captain America, Avenger Shields, Iron Man. Yeah, I won't say the DC ones, just so it's a surprise that
In case
there-
anybody doesn't know
what's
already.
what's
that-
the
what was like the shoe company?
Mulan.
Yeah.
They have a Mulan beanie. They have a what's the Princess and the Frog name?
Tiana.
Tiana. They have a Tiana one.
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask what the name of
Um,
the movie was.
The
Princess and the
the
Frog.
Irish redhead lady.
Merida.
Oh, Merida.
I love her so much.
Oh, that's
Pocahontas, Belle. So they have a lot of. Ooh.
What?
Did you find it?
What?
I mean, I said I didn't want one with stupid ball on
Oh,
it, but that one's kind of
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, they were out of that one when I ordered, so I have
Yeah, the one without the ball is out of stock.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Um,
you can probably guess which one I'll be wearing.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Man, all
That
those.
one's Huh?
That's crazy.
You didn't get it in maroon.
Because I already have a maroon one from the
Oh
company.
my God.
Everyone is so lost in
that
this
maroon-
conversation
that
right
maroon
now.
I'm
looks
sorry
amazing.
if you are listening.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
listening to the
Yeah.
audio version of this. Tony's on his phone.
Yeah, sorry,
Looking
thank
at
you.
looking at hats.
items.
I got caught
Yeah.
up.
So
free.
they-
yeah,
Talking
Oh, I'm
about
sorry.
the
So they
colors.
also have Scooby Doo on there too. If anyone's
Oh,
interested in
yeah.
Scooby Doo, I don't think they sold out,
Cool.
and I feel like we're missing a
man,
license.
Scooby- Scooby-Doo just
DC,
did.
Marvel, Toy Story, Disney princesses, from what I've seen.
Star Wars,
Star Wars,
Scooby.
Mandalorian. Yeah, there's a bunch on there. It's cool, man. 40. I think the ones with like I think $40 and $44 is the two prices I've seen for beanies. They also have gloves and they also have blankets and face masks.
Yes.
But it all goes to help somebody. So check it out.
And it's also like $20 a hat since you're
Buying two.
paying for two. Yeah. So-
I'll
That's a good
definitely
point.
once I get money situated, I will definitely be ordering one from the site. So you convinced me into it, Pri.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
they're
I
really
didn't order I didn't order jelly bean bracelets from the top of Ethiopia mountain or whatever.
the highest point of the earth and the lowest point
That's
of
it.
the earth. My loci.
Loci bracelets.
Loci
Yes.
that I still wear like every
Oh
day.
my God.
Yeah, she didn't get me into the loci bracelets, but I think she got me into protect your melon.
Protect your melon
Beanies.
beanies.
Love your melon.
Love your melon.
Oh.
Sorry, not
Protect
protect. Well, you
your
are
melon.
Loveyourmelon.com.
you are protecting your melon by wearing it by keeping
That's
it
their
You
helmet line where they have all the helmet crossovers.
leather old
Love your-
football helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of that, they also have the headbands too. If you're not like a beanie person, because sometimes because I have some of those too, where you just
I
do
like
the
to just
headbands.
like wear the headband so I can pull my hair up in a ponytail, and then I have the headband beanie type thing.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
sell those
I
too.
feel like a pro wrestler when I wear headbands. I love it. I can't wait till my hair gets long. I get headband, the hair over the headband.
Yes, they
I'll
have.
Walk around like this.
So you can
Looking
get
like
one
Andy
of those
Header.
too.
Looking like
Looking
Andy
like
Header.
I cannot wait to get long hair. Dude, when you have longer hair, dude, Halloween opens up so many more doors for you. You don't have to wear wigs. It's
That's
so
right.
good.
Not me. I'm just always Rivers Cuomo, just all the time.
Yeah, you're the
I can't.
you're
do
the
Well,
least-
now I'm not because I dyed my hair.
you're
But
the lead singer of Weezer.
I don't
everywhere
have
you go.
any opportunity. Like, there's no character I can be. Like anyone with
Like,
like a specific
You're
glasses.
you're stuck to Buddy Holly and Weezer, and
Yeah.
Nikolai
Harry Potter.
and Harry Potter, and Nikolai stuck to Leonardo DiCaprio.
I see that. I see
Yeah.
a little bit Tom Holland. Tom Holland, you got
I'll
that
take it.
There
youngish
you
I'll take
go.
figure.
Spider-Man.
And then
You
I
can
get
Spidey.
I get any Wahlberg, but the fat version.
But
Steve Fulton told me I look like Nick Jonas if if someone plugged my nose and I blew into my thumb and got
That's
fat.
so mean.
It was funny how he
Goodness,
said
that's
he
so
said he said
fucking
Tony
mean.
you could do a good Burger King.
yeah he
The-
said
like
he
the
goes
Burger King.
Tony you look Nick Jonas if you went like this.
Oh, that's so fucking
I thought it was
mean.
funny, but it's true.
It's funny. But
Um,
it's true.
When my neighbor, her daughter, when she was younger, she's like, he looks like the Jonas guy, and I was like,
Aw.
interesting. I'm
Interesting.
fat and not in good shape, but I'll take it. It's pretty much
Aw.
anything with beady little eyes and a pushed up nose. That's what I get. Sid from Toy Story when I used to shave my head.
Oh my god.
I got that when
I
I
used-
shaved my head the
yeah,
one time.
and then
yeah,
I
that's
used
all
to get
had.
2D from Gorillas because his pig nose.
The,
yeah.
the band? The music
Yeah,
band?
the
Oh.
lead singer of the cartoon band.
Doesn't he have like blue hair or something?
Something like that, who knows?
I don't-
Nikolai, what do you got to plug?
I mean, I got nothing necessarily personal, but I did buy 2 copies of Murr's new book from Impractical Jokers.
2
Called
copies.
Don't Move. Well, I will. I mean, I'm about to explain why. So every day he does some kind of new giveaway type deal. So the first time I bought the book, which none of them have arrived yet, but they're all autographed regardless, is Murr's actually going to call you. So I get a 5 to 7 minute phone call with Murr, and he's calling 400 some people that bought his book within that day.
Oh my god.
Can
Um,
we record it?
I don't know how it's gonna work, but
Okay.
they're gonna send you an email about like a rough date and time and stuff
Wow.
to expect the phone call. And they said if you miss the call, you'll get like a voicemail from Murr, which would be pretty cool either way. But then the other one that I bought is he is going to rip apart his Impractical Jokers script that was used on set and sign every single page and send it along with the book.
Wow.
And I think just having a piece of history. I know you don't like the movie. I did watch the movie and I actually really liked it.
Can you see though how?
You know what? You got to separate yourself from the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the show.
I love the show too.
but when they're trying to do their thing, I know
I
they
think
start
it's
off
just
as
because it's like, what movie premise could you give them other than not making them into like Jackass the improv?
I don't
like-
mind when like Jackass or Johnny Knoxville or when people do that mess with
Well, they
people in
couldn't do
public
it.
and
They
then
couldn't
do a
do.
skit.
They couldn't do it though. Like, you know what I mean? All the Jackass movies were still just like not not scripted.
Well, not so
you
much
know.
Jackass, but like Bad Grandpa.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, that
or,
was shit.
or
but
the no, I actually thought that
I
was
didn't
funny.
like it.
I thought it was
didn't
funny
like it.
because Johnny Knoxville can at least somewhat act, and a little,
Yeah, he
a
can
little,
act really
the
well.
He's
little,
a good actor.
the, he is a good actor, and the little kid they got was a good actor too.
Mhm.
But like the what was the other guy, Eric Andre? Like he made a style movie where he messed with people in public.
Mhm.
It wasn't horrible. I'd rather see them do their show than do something like that.
Yeah. Even
Sure,
like
and it's all
even
about
like
taste, yeah.
watching their when they did the live shows
Oh,
where they're on the
I
stage.
can't do the stage.
It was
stuff.
really
Oh.
hard to watch, but also like separating it, and it's like its own thing.
Right.
It's like
And
it's
I really
stand
think
up.
you
It's
have
not.
to do that. And if
Mhm.
you can get past it's not the show, I think you'll really
It's
enjoy
weird.
it.
I think the bad thing though was they marketed it as if it would be like the show.
Sure.
Yeah. And so it's slightly misleading as to like, oh, okay, so it's not only like certain aspects of it. But I thought like what they did, the story is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think the story itself is funny, and I think it's cool that they actually got her in the movie. And
Mhm.
you know.
And Kane Hodder is in it
Yeah.
as well as her bodyguard.
I'm a big fan of Q. I like Q.
What's her name again?
Paul Abdul.
Paula Abdul? Straight up now, tell me.
Do you really want to love me forever?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Best song she ever did was with a cat.
Oh, I like that music video.
Wow.
Billy, what do you got to plug?
Just the Twitch thing that I did at the beginning, because I've been playing
Twitch.
games a lot
Search
more
the
often.
Converse Kid on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you could do the YouTube thing if you want, if you feel like it. I don't post a lot there. It's hard to be like, focused on 3 different aspects, like music, and then also,
All right, tell me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what it's like. But yeah, I think that's pretty much that. for me.
Well, Billy is someone when we can't have someone fill a chair, he always tries to find a way to come help us out. So you will see more Billy. Nikolai is possibly will be joining us on Truth Behind Illusion, possibly.
I mean, I hope.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I love the
That'd be
concept of the
great.
show and stuff, and I would love to be on it.
I told you though. I told you that's like the show that's just like. I think it like just immediately a lot of people are just like.
I honestly
flood
think
into
I think the cast change and getting everybody at the same table for this show and Truth Behind Illusion is going to be nothing but fireworks. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion. And I think what we're doing on Tornado Tag is going to be really, really good. I think Bangin' Beers, now that we have the crew we have, I think is going to be really good.
I'm just genuinely excited for the progression of everything. Because
Yeah,
it seems like it's all going pretty well.
I think where
That'd be
we're
great.
going is going to
Yeah.
be fun. I like the fact that like most and if you guys aren't aware of this, for the most part, we all hang out besides this table, which I think is
we
help-
do.
I mean,
Conversate.
We have been recently. We've invited you, but you couldn't make it.
Once.
Renaissance Fair. We invited you to Gettysburg.
Wait,
No,
was
you
that
didn't.
not the
Didn't
beginning?
we? Do you
No.
want to go to
You
Gettysburg?
didn't
to
invite me to
Gettysburg?
Gettysburg. You
You-
didn't invite me to Knobles. We're gonna bring this shit out right now. And you know the worst part about that is
Oh,
you
no.
just tagged me in it. This is the crew
Oh, no.
minus Nikolai. I'm like, I'm sitting at home, guys.
Wait, there was a
No one
Kno-
told
No,
me.
Knobles was
No
a,
one told
Knobles
me.
There was
a
a
last minute
Knobles
thing,
thing?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Knobles was just
Hold
last
up.
minute. It
I'm
was a last
gonna-
minute Sunday.
I'm gonna
I'm
jump
sorry,
on
guys.
his side. Now
I'm-
it's split. Now it's split.
Do you
I'm
guys
going
want to
with
go to
Nikolai.
Gettysburg?
This is
There's
our
no hard feelings about it.
Yes.
I just feel like
This
in the
is-
moment I'm throwing shit now.
This
What
is
do you-
our
what-
Marvel Civil War, and
what
I'm
are-
going with Nikolai. I didn't get invited to Knobles.
That's because y'all
either.
are the same height.
Yeah.
Whoa! We cannot have that type of what?
Discrimination.
Yeah, we can't have that kind of
Real
discrimination.
quick, real quick.
I'm
Not,
the same height as you
Listen,
guys.
Billy, I'll ground you.
not this. Oh God.
We're bringing that to the
No,
show.
we're not. We're not.
I'm-
Yummy. When not this weekend, but next weekend, we are going to Gettysburg. If you'd like to join, if you guys would like to join us,
What day?
it's
13th,
Saturday and
14th.
Sunday.
14th and
Saturday.
15th?
14th, 15th.
Yeah,
Oh,
14th,
Yeah,
15th.
that's possible. 'cause
Yeah.
I
Actually,
should
no.
only be there Monday to Friday for work.
Me and you can't make it because we have that thing we didn't invite them to go.
Oh
do.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Have fun, boys.
Have fun.
We'll be looking for spooky ghosts.
We're actually going to Gettysburg. I don't know if you heard
Yeah.
of it. It's pretty haunted.
We'll see you there.
I'll be at the orphanage.
Yeah, well, that's where
we
we're
will
going.
also see you there.
So yeah, if you guys want to go, we'll definitely.
Because
Oh,
we have the place, and the place is huge.
Yeah,
so
the
just-
place is booked, and between the people that we did it, I think it was like $10 a head.
Yeah.
So it's even the point where you don't even really have to chip in for a place, and it's like there's so many places to sleep, so we're fine with all that.
Mm,
And you guys can fucking head to toe sleep if you want.
mhm.
Great.
Nice.
when you sleep in the tub or
Is
something.
that because we're short enough so you think we could we
Yeah.
could fit in the same
That's
bed?
exactly the joke.
Tori, what do you got to plug?
I'm also short, by the way. I'm also short. Just throwing that out there.
So my
I almost made a really bad. I was like, but you're a girl. They're not.
I don't know what that means.
Listen,
I
Tony,
actually don't know
it-
what that means, Tony.
About 300 years ago, I was at normal height.
You are,
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
and
That's
I'd have been
true.
dead by now.
You and
'cause I'm-
Jesus are probably the same height.
I probably was.
Yeah. And I'd
I
have been-
probably
I'm
was
starting the rumor
Jesus.
now.
Yeah.
I'm starting the rumor now that Nikolai's the same height as Jesus.
He's reincarnated.
I'll take it.
Short people are cool.
yeah.
My wife is short. She's all right.
She's
We're
all
we're
right.
all all
I
right.
gotta stop
We're
making
all
fun of
all
her because she's starting to listening now to the shows. Because
She lives in the same house as you.
Well, no,
can't
she-
not
she's
hear
She's
been-
asleep probably.
she's been doing like listening on the way home and way too. And now that the show's going to the
Oh.
1 day a week, so she's gonna really get caught up.
Oof.
I gotta be careful picking on her because
Yeah.
I made a joke about calling her a succubus, and she came home and called that one out. And then she told me to stop picking on.
I'm not a succubus.
Yeah, and then she's
Oh
like,
my
then she came home and she's like, stop picking on Brie. I think she takes you serious. Like, I don't think she understands your humor yet. She's gonna hate you. I was like, no, she's gonna be all right.
As I glare at him.
Yeah, it's fun. I really like the dynamic. I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be a lot of fun. Even if you don't see Billy on camera, there is possibilities you're gonna see him helping us out, whether it be like searching stuff or just chiming in conversations and stuff like that. Like, I definitely want him to be part of the family here. But unfortunately, we can only do like 6 microphones unless I buy a different board. But I don't see that in the works. Actually, there is another board I want, but it's still only 6 mics.
I feel that.
Yeah, it's another Zoom board.
It's hard to
so
find.
nice.
It's hard to find stuff too that's like high quality.
Well, the thing is too is it's really hard. Like, a lot of people, like, when I promote this and talk to other people on podcast pages, people look and go, "You have 6 people on your show?" I'm like, we've learned to not really step on each other, and we give each other like we our flow and our dynamic is there, which
Yeah.
is really helpful. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, Tori, we're like fucking.
I was gonna say we're at 2.5 hours,
yeah.
my guy.
What do you got to plug?
My design pages on Facebook and Instagram, Bewitched in Clover Designs, and also La Zingra Tarot. So on Facebook, and so I do tarot readings and stuff.
Yeah. So
that's
if you want a cool logo or your future red, I'm joking, your tarot cards red, hit Tori up, man. She does amazing logos. Obviously, every logo you pretty much see for the show has been her. The only one that's not her right now is Tornado Tag and Interviews with
Bangin'
Everyday
Beers.
People. And Banging Beers, yeah, but that's all
That's
pretty much
changing.
all changing. They're pretty much, I think every logo you're going to see is going to be a version of, it's going to be a Tori logo, which is I'm really excited for.
Yeah, thank you.
And she possibly may be part of intro music for our show
Yep.
soon.
Mhm.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, we have people submitting personalized intro music. Like, it's going to be crazy. I mean, we have, you are working on stuff, Max is working on stuff, Andy's working on stuff. It's just, dude, I never thought somebody would want to make personalized music for us. I thought we were going to do the band route for a while.
I think it's kind of one of those things. At least for me, I was just like thinking of like a melody, and I was like, "Oh, that would fit the thing."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
cool.
like,
I think it's
oh.
exciting. I'm very blown away. I mean, for a while there, Noah was making this logos, like little fan logos. Dude, if people want to do it and you like, let me know. I love the support. You guys are fantastic. But yeah, that'll do it for interviews. Not interviews with people. The IWEP network. So go and follow that page and follow the rest of the podcast that we do here on the network. Once again, we will be back next Thursday, and then we'll kind of give you guys the rundown. It'll be next Thursday will be Tornado Tech podcast. Next Thursday will be Not Cool in High School. Then the following week will be Tornado Tech podcast, and then Thanksgiving we will show you the episode that we recorded at Gettysburg.
Yes.
Which is going to be crazy because there's going to be 100 people on a table and only 6 microphones. So we're just
I'm
going to
so excited.
we're just going to be passing them around and telling ghost stories and what we experienced at Gettysburg.
Giving off COVID to one another.
Yeah, we're going to lick each other's faces.
We're gonna go.
Oh, good.
But anyway, all right, that'll do it.
And
Here
with
is-
that.
And with that, here is some Look Alive. See you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.